Konnichiwa everyone, and welcome to the Silver League here tonight of ALR. We are here in the land of the rising sun for the Japanese Grand Prix. Of course, this is one of the best tracks in the racing world, isn't it? Of course, it appears on every great racing game, doesn't it? Whether it's Gran Turismo or any that kind of stuff. That's the only racing game I know apart from Formula 1, really. So I was going down a black hole straight away there, wasn't I? Of course, before we do get started, we also got to, of course, the awful events going on in America at the moment, which seems to be happening all around the world, really, doesn't it? Of course, all the George Floyd's awful things that are going on there as well. So anyone who took a knee today, well done. Whether I think it was at 5 or 7 p.m. So well done to all those guys that did that then. So awful stuff indeed. We're talking about stuff far too often, aren't we, really? And terrible stuff indeed. Right, we're just waiting for one more driver to come in, and we'll be getting ready to get going as well. Glock right in the comments there straight away. Evening all, and konnichiwa as well. As of course, that's usually the way I start off my Japanese streams, which I haven't actually done in a long time actually. So yeah, and I do love the Japanese Grand Prix. It's brilliant stuff, isn't it? And there's 18 turns around this only figure of eight circuit on the calendar as well. Of course, Kimi Räikkönen's got the lap holder as well, and Kimi Räikkönen in 2005. Grant, he did something very similar to Kimi, didn't he? Last night, a fantastic end to the race there. The top three drivers are absolutely magnificent. They really were there. My goodness me, then I was absolutely worn out last night. I don't think usually I would have a go on Call of Duty, but I was so destroyed after that. I had to just get on YouTube and put on Call Me Kevin. I was absolutely destroyed. Anyway, we've got Danny Mason. Evening, lads. Good evening, Danny. I hope you're well tonight as well. And we're getting into qualifying one now. Let's go. Whilst we're loading up the old session, let's quickly take a look at the drivers and the constructors standing, shall we? Glock, who's won the championship already, won it back in Spain, didn't he? Round 15. I keep saying that. It doesn't sound right, does it? Incredible stuff. Win it in round 15. It feels like you might have won championships back in the past around 15 when there was only like what a 16, 17 race season. That's incredible, isn't it? I can't believe it. Droffhaas is also through. Has also been promoted as well. Congratulations to Droffhaas. He confirmed that in America last weekend as well. Alhan is almost home. He's almost home and dry as well in the final promotion spot in third position. Fantastic stuff. We had a couple of movers in the championship last time. Of course, Lost Souls has moved up into fourth position now. Fantastic stuff. YBR is fifth, and he's missed a lot of the season as well. That just shows the talent that he's got underneath him. Brilliant stuff indeed. Paulie Orange also making his way up to sixth position as well. He's been fantastic, hasn't he, Paulie Orange? And he's a hidden talent, isn't he? Well, he ain't a hidden talent. I think he's shown some fantastic talents, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do at his very best next season. Serious Motion dropping down one position, and King's very strong performance last time in America. Hopefully he can continue it here tonight as well. And that is displaced FIFA down into 10th position as well. In the drop zone is Fran, Alpi, and Silent Shifting. In the constructors, Red Bull are also the constructors champions as well, and alright, huge 156 points in front of Haas in second. Then it's nip and tuck between Haas and Toro Rosso, and especially with Droffhaas and Kings are now all on the same hymn sheet, on the same page. That's going to be very difficult to stop that train, isn't it? Racing Point in fourth position as well. So nip and tuck now. Racing Point 40 points away from Toro Rosso. Then it's Mercedes 20 points away from the Racing Point team. McLaren only 17 points away from Mercedes. We've got a bit of a gap then because Williams is 43 points away from McLaren. Renault are 8th position, they're 8 points away from Williams. 9th position is Alfa Romeo, and Ferrari completes the top 10 as there are only 10 teams in the championship, which is a travesty in my opinion. There should be 13 teams, but that is just a pipe dream of mine. I would love to have 13 teams on the Formula 1 grid, isn't it? But unfortunately these days it's not feasible, is it? Which is shocking to say the least, isn't it? And of course all the money going around and things like that, and worrying times for Williams as well, isn't it? If we're down to 9 teams, I think that is just absolutely outrageous. It really is, isn't it? And I think Formula 1 need to get their act together personally, because I'd love to see teams like Minardi, Simtech, of course, that incredible car, purple car, which was one of my favourite cars of all time. I love the Simtech, sponsored by MTV as well. It's great to see teams like that come in. 40 probably not so much, as they was very slow when they first came into Formula 1, wasn't they? And when they brought the 100% 7% rule in 96. That's really kind of finished him off as well. And there was also there was a lot of mysteriousness going around with 40 and 96, wasn't it? With the Shannon, or wasn't it Shannon racing or something like that? I think anyway. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then we had the likes of the Pacific Grand Prix, and we was also on the grid as well. We lost a very around 94, 95. We did lose a lot of incredible teams, didn't we? Of course, they used to be pre-qualifying, didn't they, in 94 to get into the 26 car. Velocity there, almost losing the back end of that Alfa Romeo. Goodness me, there he was very much there. I've got to say that very well controlled there for Velocity, but unfortunately he's invalidated his time, so he's going to have to go around once again. We've only got one Ferrari in the this session at the moment, and it's other Ferrari fleet has actually fleed, so I'm not sure where he's got at the moment then. Yeah, but hopefully he can get in the session later on, but unfortunately for that means he will not take part in qualifying. We have 19 cars in this session, and we will be losing 4 drivers. So there's no quality bands here tonight, so yeah, it's all out straight from the get-go then. So this is going to be absolutely fabulous stuff indeed. As just taking a look at Droftas now, of course he is second in the championship. He cannot go any lower than he has been promoted, hasn't he? But he could be second or third in the championship, but he will be promoted into gold next season. He has been Mr. Consistent. He's been fantastic this season. He's really been his performances, he hasn't won a race yet, but his performances have been incredible. He's been on the podium 5 times this season. Been really good stuff indeed, hasn't he? Drofas has, and it's just those points he keeps racking up. It's just really it's really been impressive, hasn't it? And he goes fast at the moment to 29.128 there from the Toro Rosso. Paulie Orange there is just on a lap at the moment. There comes Wilson there, just coming over the grid. Hatchins as well. He is done a 29.8 so far for the Mercedes. And Kingston just finished this lap as well. We got Ferrari of Razor out on a lap. We've also got Walker making his debut tonight. So it's great to see Walker in the racing point. Of course, we do notice his name now. Was he in bronze last week? I think he was, wasn't he? Unless I am very much mistaken, which I probably am actually. No, he wasn't. He was in silver last week. My apologies, Walker. Goodness me, give me a slap on the wrist. Of course, Walker was in it last week, and unfortunately for Walker, he actually got a point. Actually, no, he didn't. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong spread. I'm looking at the wrong tape. But no, yeah, he had a DNF. Unfortunately, Walker did. But yeah, so he's in the Toro Rosso here. It's not we're just watching VTOL as well. Someone is visiting the outskirts of Spoon there, isn't he? Going right on the outside then. Our debutants here tonight. And let's just take a look up and down the list. We got a very unfamiliar name of Dan Murphy there in the grid tonight. Of course, I think this is the first time he's driven in silver before, I believe. He's driven in bronze, didn't he? Remember that incredible race in Abu Dhabi a couple of weeks ago? Well done to Murphy as well. Paulie Orange has gone faster, 28.6. Lovely stuff from Paulie Orange. VTOD, then we're on board VTOD. Then he seems to have a great qualifying and a poor race, or a poor qualifying and a great race. Let's see if he can get it all wrapped up here tonight then. Serious Mercenary is just cruising out the pits as well. Alhan left the session. I'm hoping he comes back in the not too distant future, because we want to see him attacking this racetrack indeed then. Other debutants got Velocity from bronze there is also making his debut here tonight in silver. Fantastic stuff indeed, along with the season 1 champion as the race goes 5th fastest, along with the season 1 champion Nige is also in the Renault here tonight as well. It's going to be unusual to see Nige in the yellow, isn't it? So you see him in the pink Racing Point these days, haven't we? As Walker has gone at second fast. Lovely stuff there from the Racing Point now. Fantastic indeed. We've got McLaren. They're just coming out of the pits. It can be very dangerous coming out of that pits, can it? Goodness me. Yeah, so you've got to keep your wits about you, don't you? Iceman is in the hairpin then. We've got Williams in front of us there. Who is that? I think that is it's not Ghost, but it's also Ghost's teammate, which is Serious Mushroom on an outlap at the moment. And he is coming up to the final corner now, and Ghost goes at 5th fast at the moment. Lovely stuff indeed there from Ghost. Murphy's on an outlap as it stands at the moment then, and who else is out there? We've also got Iceman who's coming up to the 130R now. And going over the support grid hatchings, and the yellow flag is fluttering into the second deck now, I think that is. Got Iceman then flying through the 130 yard, not even into a lift these days, is it, with the downforce on these incredible machines, isn't it? Coming through the triangle chicane, which I keep debating whether it's actually called the triangle chicane or not. I'm sure it was in the early 90s, but here comes Iceman coming across the line. He is full fastest at the moment, and so well done to Iceman, and as cool as you like then, isn't he? As we seen someone go off there. Who was that? That was Ghost just recovering there out of Dunlop. We've also got Murphy then as well. So I think I've gone through all the debutants as well then. So there's a couple of new faces then in silver. If you just joined us for silver, fantastic 17 velocity. Oh, he's locked up, he's in the barrier, as in the barrier in Dunlop there. He has damaged the car, but of course Sam did that last night, didn't he? And unfortunately velocity there is just trying to get himself back on track, isn't he? He doesn't want to be beached there, does he? Which is actually something I would like in the next game. If you go in the gravel, you do get beached, don't you? Explains how great to see Explains back in action, isn't it? So let's see what he can do then. He might have a bit of rust then. Alhan is back in the session. Fantastic stuff indeed then. Ayrton said, hello Sean, love you Ayrton there. We've also got Sam, evening beautiful. He must be talking about the drivers on track then. But hello Sam, I hope you're well. We've also got Droftas saying Kobayashi hero, and that is a man after my own heart. I think Kobayashi was one of the best drivers, one of the most drivers ever. I loved Kobayashi, especially his daring overtakes in this hairpin right here, 2010 there, where he's just making that corner his own, really, wasn't he? He was fantastic, wasn't he? Alguersuari had tried to get as good as he got, didn't he, really? And unfortunately he damaged his own wing then, didn't he, Alguersuari? Which is unfortunate there for Jaime Alguersuari, who drove in the Toro Rosso, didn't he, for 2 seasons before being ousted. I think it was 3 seasons actually, wasn't it? I'm sure he's in there in 2011, 2010, and a bit of 29. I think he replaced Sebastian Bourdais, didn't he? In the Toro Rosso. On board of Explain said, who is in the Big Brother team, and that is the Red Bull. Explains there, coming out of the Triangle Chicane car. 28 Explains it then. Let's see what we can do then. Of course, Red Bull are the Constructors champions, and he is full fast at the moment. Lovely stuff indeed then. Kingdom was just starting his lap, but he's invited his time. Murphy has gone second fast. He had some pace last night, didn't he? Unfortunately, his race was curtailed. Him and Fireshot's race was curtailed when they came to blows there, coming out to Spoon, which was a very interesting instance, to say the least, wasn't it? Here comes Glock coming up to the 130R. We got Gunnar saying, King of ALR is back in the comments there. And I wonder who he's talking. I think he must be talking about Sam there. And we've also got Eric there saying, let's rock Nigel there. As Nigel then is currently hasn't set a time yet, but he's out on track at the moment. Then as Glock goes fastest on a 28-1 there, 5/10 of a second in front of Paulie Orange in second position there. And Glock then doing a fine job indeed. I'm really looking forward to see what he can do in a gold next season. We had a preview last week, didn't we? But that was only in qualifying. Lost Souls hugging that barrier so close there, like his favourite granny. He is now second fastest on 4/10 of second in front of Glock at the moment. Then King's almost invalidated. His time is going to have to go around again. Then currently 14 cars have set a time so far, and Sam says wouldn't say King of ALR. Okay, I'll call you maybe a Prince said as well of ALR. We're just watching Nigel then, who was the King of ALR, wasn't he, in the first season? Of course, he won the championship in round 17 out of 18 that season, didn't he? In the 2018 game, of course, it was a tense affair in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, wasn't it? Of course, whereas Alhan is left for session again. Hopefully, he can get himself sorted out and back in there. He's got 6 3/4 minutes to go to get himself dusted and back on track then. We're on board Nigel then coming for the S's, and of course Nigel did win the Drivers' Championship in Abu Dhabi against Hunter, didn't he? With just 2 rounds to go. Did a good job, didn't he? Nigel did. This was the final round of that season as well. Of course, that was the first time I remember Nigel making a mistake. Oh, look at the commitment on Nigel. My goodness me, how did he keep that car going? That was absolutely fantastic stuff from Nigel. Really well done of how he kept, unfortunately invalidated his time, but that's just focused on the negative. How did he keep it out there? It's absolutely beyond me. Remember, we've seen a lot of crashes there in 2009, didn't we? I think Kovalainen went in there backwards, didn't he? Or I think he just about got out there though, didn't he? So but well done to Nigel there. Goodness me, unfortunately invalidated his time. We're just watching Kingdom now. I think he was revitalized, wasn't he, after that race in America? He was fantastic. He was battling at the front there. His qualifying performance was absolutely mesmerized in the race there. He did drop down a couple of positions, but I think still, lovely shot here from the steering wheel there. Look at how high tech. It's like a computer driving the car, isn't it? Incredible stuff. And as Los Angeles retired from the session there, he's just in the pits at the moment then. As now it was just in front of us. I think that was a Renault. It was a Renault. He's coming in the pits and Nigel is, after invalidating his toe, they're giving it full welly through the first deck net there, wasn't he? King's Home is just behind his teammate. My goodness me, by a whisker. 100 per second separates the two Toro Rosses at the moment. Brilliant stuff indeed. Then Golok is retired from the session as well. That's Serious Mushroom, who is pointed the wrong way there. Is he? Oh, lovely donut there. Very positioned as well. I love a good donut, and I know a good donut when I see one. Fantastic stuff there from Serious Mushroom, and he is on his way. But I wonder if that's going to curtail his lap then, because those tyres are not going to be in optimal temperature now. I think those tyres might be screaming hot, especially the rear ones then. So Serious Mushroom might be might have some problems there, as a Glock has really thrown something into my attention there, and it is the weather, isn't it? Of course, there. I do love a sprinkling of rain. It really shakes things up, doesn't it? Before we do that, though, Sam saying I'd love to be a reserve for bronze one day. Really good. Yeah. So yeah, Sam always welcome. Sam is as well as we've also got Gooner saying, okay, then I'll settle for Master Sam. Sam says sound better. And we have also got Glock there, as Serious Mushroom has unfortunately validated his time there. Vitor has gone up to 8 fastest now. Good stuff there from Vitor, who just watching Ghost there, who's coming up there as well. Velocity is now coming up into Spoon, I believe that is. Yes, it is indeed. Well, Glock says rain in 10 to 15 minutes. Said apparently. So hopefully these guys get them. Well, they're going to get these times done. But what about the Q2? Unfortunately, I think that's going to be smack bang on after everyone's done their first runs, which means that unfortunately, I think for the final 5 minutes, you're going to just be me talking a load of rubbish, really. As Velocity is very much hugging. Oh my goodness me! I thought he was going to the pits at that final corner. It's really causing some issues there. Remember, it caused some issues in 2005 for one Pablo Montoya. Remember what Glock said yesterday. Of course, there's a mysterious bump there, which is Viserys is in the pits there. He needs to get a move on there, and Alhan does as well. Can Alhan get himself back out there as well? Ghost is now a 10 for a second down. Oh my goodness me, just trimming the grass there. He's a 10 for a second up there in the final sector as well. And now then we're coming up and then into the triangle chicane as well, and there's an arrow there, just a ton drives ready to go. They don't need that arrow. I might, but these guys don't. They know this track like the back of their hand, the back of their glove. And Ghost goes a little faster, running good stuff there from the Williams drive indeed. Alhan's back in. He has got not a lot of time now to get himself bowed up and ready to go. Explains his 3 tenths of a second up. Iceman is visiting the wall there, and they're just getting himself out of the way. Then here comes Jake Wilson there. Fantastic drive from Jake Wilson back in Abu Dhabi. It wasn't actually last week, was it? It was a couple of weeks ago now. Goodness me, time flies, isn't it, when you're having fun then? And now then we're coming up then to the coming to the crest of the hill. Then as you see, 6 tenths of a second. And so far Wilson's up there. This is some good racing there from Jake. Then dropping down then into a third gear, second gear. They're tickling the 70-mile-an-hour mark, getting it very flighty on the rear there. And now he is coming in, and here comes car 28, and he is 8 faster than Wilson, doing a fantastic job out there. Lovely stuff indeed then. Oh my goodness me! Will as a Ghost there. Oh, he's in the wall. I think that's in the deck nuts. It is in the deck nuts. He's damaged the car. And there's a Ghost is our first casualty here in qualifying. Remember, yesterday we had so many casualties. Well, that is the first one. And well, to be honest, I think we're a day early, because casualties usually on a Saturday. Well, I'm actually 2 days early. I think Hobie City was on Tuesday, wasn't it? So unfortunately for Ghost, he is out of this. So he's out of this one. Velocity is retired from the session, but I think he is okay. McLaren there is just getting out of the way as well. Nigel is very perilous, isn't he, to the well, he's in the drop zone, isn't he? FIFA's back on track now. Serious Mushroom and Alhan are also out there as well. These guys have really got to get themselves going, don't they? And now then as we're coming down the hill before rising back up, then Nigel are on board, if not, and going over the grid hatches as well. Of course, let's see, look at this 130R. Listen to this. Not even a hint of a lift. You hear the power just dull slightly there, don't you? As Nigel Fink just ran out of deployment there of the ERS electric recovery system, just around that point. So he's gonna have he's basically lost the output of a mini there, hasn't he? But he's still got 8 fastest nonetheless. Then lovely stuff indeed. Then explains how it is. Looks like he's on an in-lap as well. So we're gonna keep an eye on what the Iceman can do. Well, the Iceman is in Spoon now. Then as he comes out with Spoon now, getting very wide there out of Spoon, but he is all fine and dandy at the moment. Outlaps are still for the final 4 who are in the drop zone at the moment. Ghost is out already. Are we going to have another? And there's a McLaren there who's had a problem. So we've also got LPE who is is off the gravel in the SSR. V Todd is just coming to pits there. He's trying to get the pits, I think. And LPE there just about getting on the gravel there. He's in 13th at the moment. He is safe, but that is his final lap done and dusted. Unfortunately, Razor started this lap now. FIFA is about to start this lap. Then we've also got Sarah's Mushroom who's on this lap, and Alhan as well. So FIFA is also through. Well, he's through to start this lap then. So we're going to keep an eye on what Sarah's Mushroom can do now. Razor's also out on track as well. Explains the retire from the session. Lovely shot there from Dunlop. And now here comes Serious Mushroom. Apparently he's on an outlap now. And now he goes into the second deck. That's where he lost his teammate, unfortunately, of a Ghost there. That is unfortunate to say the least, isn't it? Now into the hairpin as well. The Kobayashi hairpin. Look how banked it is as well. It's so inviting, isn't it? Going in there. Of course, Emerson had a all or nothing maneuver last night there, didn't he? I gotta say, that came out of nowhere, wasn't he? My goodness me. He felt like Randy Orton. As Walker has retired from this session now, but don't worry about Walker. He's in 6th position at the moment, and he will be walking through into qualifying 2. Ha 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 ha. And as now we have got someone in front of Serious Mushroom then, as we're coming over the crest of the hill now. There's Iceman, I think it is Iceman, who's had a who's just finished his lap, hasn't he? And they were just watching Serious Mushroom then coming into the triangle chicane then. This is it then. He needs to nail this up, otherwise he is done and dusted. Is he going to be done and dusted? Oh goodness me, I thought he's got in the pits there. He's got a slightly wide there, Serious Mushroom. He is only 17th. He is the first casualty. Razor is a 10th for second up. FIFA Beefy and Alhan are also coming through as well. Here comes Razor. He is coming in through then. So Serious Mushroom's like, we've lost both Williamses, unfortunately. Mushroom is the first, well, the second official man to go then. Lovely gold helmet there. Razor's out qualifying. What about Alhan? Alhan is through. Iceman is out qualified, unfortunately. What about FIFA? FIFA's 4/10 of a second up. Is this going to be enough? FIFA isn't even so. Wow, my goodness me. We have lost Iceman, Razor, FIFA, Serious Mushroom, all out of qualifying, unfortunately. And unfortunately, if Ghost had hindsight, he would still be in qualifying because he wouldn't need to have gone back out. He is out of qualifying as well. We have lost 5 drivers there in the first part of qualifying. Goodness gracious me then. Oh goodness me then. And as you can see there, I got my very proud silver rating as well. Just confirmation of who've lost in the first qualifying session then. Serious Mushroom out of qualifying, as is FIFA, Razor, Iceman and Ghost all out of qualifying then, as we've lost 5 drivers in this session, not 4, because Ghost has damaged the car. No T cars in Formula 1 anymore. He couldn't do an Eddie Irvine like he did back in 1999, where he ran back to the car, got in the spare Ferrari, and he was back out again. Unfortunately, I think Eddie only qualified 5th that day, didn't he? On that championship showdown weekend between himself and Mika Hakkinen, of course. Then we've got Velocity saying there, don't worry, I'll probably crash soon. Also raining Q3. That's what Jeff told me. Glock was also talking about rain as well in 15 minutes there. Oh goodness me then. So the drivers are all saying the same thing. Then we got to sprinkle the wet stuff then. Hi, coming from the heavens then. Good stuff indeed then. Darren says mess that up again then, as but that's unfortunate for Darren, but don't worry, the points are handed out in the race. And of course the Williams guys are very good in racecraft, aren't they? We're into qualifying 2 then, and you can see that sky is looking very menacing up there, isn't it, at the moment? Goodness me. So we got a bit of blue cloud up there, but there's a lot of grey clouds. Remember, this part of the world is famous, isn't it, for its of course its heavy downpours, isn't it, and torrential rain. Remember in 2004 where we had to delay the qualifying session, didn't we? And we've also done that in 2010 and very recently as well. Was it 2018 or 19? I can't remember now. Goodness me. All the years are getting merged together now. I'm getting too old, ain't I? And now they're coming out of the pits as well then. So then here we go then. It's poorly orange there. It's been cut up there slightly, isn't it? Goodness me. So then we're coming out then for qualifying 2 then. This is going to get very tasty indeed then. So the first car out on track is actually V Todd there, but he's gone slightly wide then. Racing Point is just actually racing off in the foreground now. I think that is Walker. It is Walker indeed. So we're on board with Walker now. As we're on board with Walker now in the Racing Point then. As he is just coming through Dunlop as well. Then you can see it's getting very murky over at car 14. We got two car 14s in this session tonight then. Oh, I feel there's going to be a grudge match coming on here then. Going under the crossover as well then. And now he's coming into the hairpin. So at the moment we've got everyone out on track apart from Walker's teammate tonight, and that is Lost Souls. I think he's probably got his feet up at the moment, hasn't he? Velocity is actually the first man out on track at the moment. And for anyone who is new to this Formula 1 racing or any of that kind of stuff, or just wants to hear the rules, then of course then in qualifying 1 we had an 18-minute session. We lost 5 drivers. We were only meant to lose 4 there because it was meant to be anyone 15 foot below would have got through, but anyone who was but of course if you damage the car beyond repair and you're not in the pits, that is it, you're done for. You have to make it back to the pits under your own steam. Unfortunately the one, the Williams' Mushroom, didn't do that, and he is out of qualifying, and Velocity starts his lap now. This is qualifying 2 then. We're now losing at 11th to 14th there, so that is the grid then will be formed for the race later on in this session. You got yellow flags in 130 yard. That's not a very good place to crash, is it? I don't think anyone's crashes. Oh, Velocity there, it's getting very snaky on the rear there, isn't he? Just pushing too hard there. He's got on the grass there, and Drop Fast is now the leading car then, isn't he? As we just watched V Todd as well, and also Paulie Orange, but yeah, back on board and Drop Fast, that is, he is now the lead car, isn't he? And now flies through Dunlop into the first Degner. He's invalidated as well. Goodness me, and this is an old school circus. He's also off the track there, and almost going into the barrier then. So what about Kingdom then? So Kingdom then is now going to be flying the flag. Then where's his teammate? His teammate there is further on up the road actually. I thought Drop Fast was just around the corner there. He wasn't. So Kingdom then is going to be the first man to post a time then by the looks of it. If he can make it to the end of this lap, then goodness me. And now he's coming to Spoon as well then. As you can see now he's over the Spoon then, dropping down to a 5th gear then, tickling the throttle as well then, before stamping on it there. It looks like he lost a bit of momentum in the second part of Spoon before coming up the hill into the 130 yard. Now then his teammate, I wonder if he's getting a cheeky drag there from his teammate Drop Fast then. Drop Fast right in the line of fire then. I wonder if Drop Fast get on the win, and that was great teamwork there from the 2 Toro Rossos, and that will pay dividends I think in the constructors definitely. And now then is a Kingdom coming through the final turn then, 18 then, and he is on the he's provisionally fast at the moment there. Walker has gone faster, he's on the soft tires at the moment, but Murphy is going second fastest there. He is not on the soft tires, he's on the medium compound tire as well. Then we've got Red Bull there of Glock there, who is just coming through the as Nigel's gone fastest then, and what can Glock do then? So is Glock is faster by 3/10 of a second then. The first champion of gold against the first champion of silver, as Rain is a forecast. Rain is coming down. Oh my goodness me, then you need to be out on track now. Paulie Orange has gone fastest then, and some of these guys are on the soft tires. I wonder if they're on the soft tires because of the rain now. Remember the winning strategy last night? Well, I think I gotta say Grant had a lot of pit stops, didn't he, last night? But I think the consensus was that the medium tires went quite a long way, a lot longer than what I thought would be. Incredible stuff indeed then. And now then is where going up to the 130 yard now. Then Lost Souls then is a bit behind the 8 ball here, isn't he, at the moment? Drop Fast and Velocity might be 2 big casualties in this qualifying session. Kingdom is also perilously on the bubble as well. Then Lost Souls then is through, and he should as explains his retire from the session now. He is, oh goodness me, he's coach retired, and yes, his LP is out on track as well, so is Wilson as well. We got Drop Fast coming out the pitch, Velocity is back out as well. King Zone is 10 seconds down then. Is King Zone going to be enough then? And how much is this rain going to cause then problems for these drivers then? Now then is Sarah down, just coming up the hill then, and now dropping down the hill before elevating once again slightly up the hill then, as we're coming to Spoon then. And let's see what he can do then. Is he now tickling the throttle there as well? Going to be on the curb, he's spun it. There's too much of the loud pedal on the curb, and he has unfortunately lost control of the car, and that is going to be very disastrous indeed there for Alp, the man who's in the relegation zone at the moment there. Not good indeed, is it? And now then, as we're coming up then over the grid, over the support grid hatches there, and then coming up to the 130R now. Yellow flags is fluttering just in front of us. Can Wilson get into the final part? There's a lot of rain quite quickly on, isn't it? And Wilson has missed into the triangle cages and validated his time just with 2 laps to go, man. Oh dear, Wilson's in the pits, and oh my goodness me, what a shame there. 2 cars to go. Wilson would have been through, I think. He was very close to Kingsholm's time, but the Mercedes car is out of qualifying. The other Mercedes car is actually top of the timesheets at the moment. Although velocity, we've seen velocity going over the grass there in the first part of the S's there, didn't he? As he lost control of the car, didn't he? Which was unfortunate, wasn't it, to say the least then. And it's a velocity is off the track as well. This is appalling condition. DRS has been disabled. I think that might be done and dusted. I think this is it for qualifying. And now velocity there is just spun it around beautifully well. Vital's retired from the session there. Now velocity, I think, is coming into the pits. Draw fast. It's all or nothing. We've got intermediate tires going on the cars for Wilson there. I'm wondering, is there going to be rain in the race? And that is going to be an interesting question, isn't it? About whether there's going to be somewhat wet stuff coming in the race as well. Look at this. Look how gingerly Draw Fast is coming up the hill. He is really strong for grip there in that Toro Rosso, isn't he? Goodness me. And taking it very, very cautiously as well. Look at that. He can't even get on the full throttle going through the SSR. And that's not good at all. That's very pedestrian-like, isn't it, compared to the other guys? It was flying up that hill. Now all of a sudden he has to take it very cautiously indeed. And that's unfortunate for Draw Fast, isn't it? I don't think he's going to get through. His teammates done a 29.8 then. Now this is going to be quite a way off of 29.8, and look at the track already. It is already saturated, isn't it? It's too damp then for the slick tires. Remember, these slick tires are basically that. They're slick tires, aren't they? Cool. They don't have any grooves in them anymore, do they? Of course, they got rid of the groove tires back at the end of 2008, didn't they? They went to the slick tires. There was a very late rule change, I think, wasn't it, by the overtaking group at the beginning of 2009, and to improve overtaking, which was slick tire, which was it was quite a surprising development for me, wasn't it? Well, it's definitely a surprising development for me when they went to the slick tires at the end of 2008. But and it did look a bit funny. The cars did in 2009. They looked quite odd anyway, didn't they? But not because of the really tall rear wings, and also the very wide front wings, but also the front tyres were the same size as the rear tyres, wasn't it? Which made them slightly odd, because I think the front tyres are slightly smaller than the rear tyres on these cars, aren't they? Draw Fast then, unfortunately, I think, well, he's coming through the completed time then, so Draw Fast is doing a very clever thing here, because he has put a time on the soft tyres, and so who is going to be 11th? This is the battle for 11th now in this qualifying session, isn't it? Of course, 11th position is where you can choose what tires you want to start a race on, and so really everyone else in the top 10 must start on a tire which they set their fastest time on then. As Grant has said, mediums could do 20 laps then, Sauce, but it's your call. You got to keep with tire. Remember, Grant did a lot of laps there on the mediums yesterday, didn't they? We had a lot of guys going the hard tires, didn't they? Which of course, as I said, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Of course, I would have gone the hard tires as well, but of course, then I am just an amateur. Jake Wilson there, no DRS, of course, because DRS has been disabled because of the weather conditions, and he comes through turn 1. My goodness me, he is still flying through turn 1, isn't he? Even with these wet conditions. Crikey indeed there, as now he's coming up the S's as well then, and you can see then he's giving it full beans, isn't he, as always, much as he can there. It's a completely different, isn't it, now with the weather, isn't it, where these guys were flying up the S's. Now all of a sudden there he's having to take it as very cautiously as possible, isn't he? Coming through Dunlop as well, and you can see the splashes are coming up from the droplets that are coming from the sky. We've got a lot of guys out there on the intermediate tyres there. A lot of you might be wondering why they go down on the intermediate tyres then. Of course they have got through, so why waste is Jake there on the grass there, trying to slow the car down. He does slow the car down just about there in the Kobayashi hairpin now, accelerating away. But yeah, of course the reason why you get on the intermediate tyres is of course about experience there. In qualifying 3, is it going to be the same intensity of rain, or is it going to be more intensity rain then? Of course, all these questions will be answered, I feel then, well, they will be answered in the next 15 15 minutes or so. Then, of course, we are building up to the race as well here in Japan. Now we're down to 3 more races in silver, and we got 3 more races in bronze as well. Bronze is still wide open in the championship standards, isn't it? Silver has more or less been wrapped up as Glock is the champion of silver, and Red Bull also the constructors champion as well. But anything else there is still up for grabs. Of course, Kana Droftas cements second position there. He's already got promotion, but can he get second then? And Can Alhan cement his third spot as well. Wilson is actually gone in front of as a lovely shot here of the Toro Rosso garage. Droftas dropping on the 13th end as the intermediate tires were quicker than the soft shod Toro Rosso then. So Wilson is now 2 seconds in front of LP. Is LP then? I wonder if he's going to go for another lap around here and see what he could do then, as now accelerated away and going up the S's once again then. And he has dropped down the earth slightly, hasn't he? Of course, he doesn't need too much urge in these weather conditions. Oh, getting on the curb there. He's living dangerously, isn't he? The Haas driver LP isn't he? Of course, as I mentioned before, he's only got 2 points to his name, which is absolutely surprising, isn't it? LPE has got some speed, hasn't he? But he's just been unfortunate in the races, hasn't he? Can he get some points there and get himself out of the relegation zone? Of course, for the Haas driver, he's 2/10 of second up at the moment. He needs to find a second and a 10th there, doesn't he? Or a second and a couple of 10ths, I should say then, as at the moment then that is how far behind that Wilson at the moment. We've also got Kingdom out there out on track as well. Droftas has got up there as well. He wants to see if he can get up to 11th position. This is what we're racing for now. It's going to be the pole position of qualifying 2 then. Who is going to start 11th position? Look at that rain. It's going horizontally, isn't it? This is going to be very perilous. It's going to be very perilous race conditions, isn't it? In the final stage of qualifying, isn't it? And there's a car in front of us as well. Then, of course, you also got to think about the spray as well. Glock is retired from this session then. He is in the pits then. And, of course, just making sure, of course, if you retire out on track there where you damage the car, you will not take part in qualifying free, even if you got through. Now LP then coming into the triangle chicane as well. Look at the droplets of rain on that halo of the Haas. Goodness me, there is a lot of rain there. Rob Bohr car 66 then in the black and gold Haas, and he has gained by a second. It is just not enough for the moment. He's 3/10 of a second away from Wilson. Wilson is having another crack as well. What about Kington? Well, he's 6 seconds down on his first intermediate time. It's I've got to say, it's all about these guys and seeing who's going to be 11th, who's going to be 12th, and who's going to be 13th. But I know this is quite. I think this is just exciting. It's getting pole position. I'm loving this. This is great action here in Suzuka, and so much great action. I've just kicked my bottle over, and I'm absolutely devastated. Wilson there is now coming out of Dunlop as well, and he is of course trying to keep onto the darker part of the track there, of course, which is of course the driest part of the circuit, isn't it? Coming out of the second Dunlop as well. That rain is getting heavier and heavier, so it's going to be less and less likely that these guys are going to improve times, isn't it? Remember though, Charles Leclerc's incredible drive in a 2018 Brazil qualifying, where he got through the qualifying 10 on a completely almost a saturated track, was absolutely immense, wasn't it? I'm expecting something the same here tonight as well. As we've got a yellow flag there in the hairpin. Is that LP there who's come a cropper somewhere, hasn't he? And I think LP there, I think he might know that the game is up, the jig is up. What about Wilson then? Wilson is just trying to defend himself to get into 11th position then, to start 11th position then in the race itself. Droftas is also on a lap as well, isn't it? Going for the 130 yard. He's 500 a second up there through the 130 yard. Also playing a game of dare there with those white lines there, isn't he? As he now comes over the curves there, you can see him trying to minimise the wheel of spin as much as possible there. Hacksawing away, he is up to the line. He improves as well by 3/10 of a second and lowers the benchmark once again there from Wilson. LP there is going very slowly around there, so we'll leave LP to it, as unfortunately I think that might be him done then in his qualifying performance then. And now going into the spoon corner as well, and you can see we've got a bit of sunshine in the air as who is it? No, it's not. It's Lost Souls, isn't it? As he is retired from the session then as wow, my goodness me. And his LP there is just cruising up to the back there. We've got Mercedes and Paulie Orange in the background. LP there is might be a bit of a menace coming up that hill into the 130 yard. Luckily the next car behind him with King's him is quite a distance behind him then, so hopefully that shouldn't be a problem then. Drop Fast is coming through the final corner as well. He is in for 40.4. He's done it. He's in 11th position now. Fantastic time now for Drop Fast, and that could be a potential major scoring points lap there for Drop Fast, because now he's just outside the top 10. He would have liked to start further up, I believe, but still, that is a very good time now for Drop Fast, wasn't it? King's was just cruising back in the pits as well. Walker is out there just trying to find the grip if he can there on those Pirelli intermediate tires, and of course the green stripe intermediate tires. Are we going to have these intermediate tires out for the qualifying free session, or is it going to be the deeper groove wet tires, which is on the the blue stripe tire at the moment? So we're walking out, just trying. I think he's just going to finish his lap then on those intermediate tires. It's not even about time here. This is about knowledge. This is a knowledge, a fact-finding session there for Walker then. But I think he has now just abandoned that lap, and he's done a very good job at Walker, I'd say. Fantastic stuff indeed there from the Racing Point driver, and he is just cruising back to the pits now. And we'll go and get on to Q3 in just a few moments' time as well. Wilson also out on track as well. Is he going for another lap? No, I think that is it for Wilson as well. And so yeah, we're having a bit of a lull at the moment, as we're now getting ready for qualifying 3 then. And this is where we're going to determine who is going to be on pole position then for silver. Glock, who has been formidable in qualifying this season, hasn't he? He is. I've got to say, there wasn't many books written about the history of ALR silver until this season consistently ignored. The first season, I was going to say a big word then, but I decided against it. But Glock there has got a lot of records, which I don't think are going to be broken. Not for a very long time at least then. Glock is a very special driver, isn't he? I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do against the gold next season there, and that is going to be interesting to say the least, isn't it? So as a Walker is also cruising in back in the pits, well, he got 5th overall in the end then. So as you go into qualifying 3 then, I got to say, I can't call this is going to be very tasty indeed, isn't it? So this is really going to whet your appetite, isn't it? Oh goodness me, I thought Walker was going into that barrier then, as I quickly looked up there, and he was facing the abyss, wasn't he? He's coming into the pits now, putting on the speed limiter, isn't he? And he's just looking for his garage now then. So that is the end of qualifying 2. We're going to go into qualifying 3 in just a few moments then. Hold on to your hats, this is going to be fantastic. Wilson saying he couldn't even get 11th there, unfortunately. Droftas saying that was a bit of fun. He got into 11th position, and that's a fantastic lap there from Droftas. Granty is saying good luck, Williamson, Darren there. And as a Gooner saying, well, he did hit the wall. As Darren said, go hard or go into the wall. And so Guna did both last night there. We'll leave him to that. Comment, shall we? And we're now into a qualifying at 3 now then. And these are the tires they're going to start on then. That is a very mixed bag, isn't it? Poorly Orange, the Lost Souls, Nigel Walker, Alhan and Vitor all on the soft tires. Medium tires for Glock, for Dan, for Explains, and for King Zone as well. Goodness me then, this is going to be very tasty, isn't it? Going into the race then. But first, we've got to determine how they're going to line up for qualifying 3 then, which is coming up in a matter of moments then. So stay with us. And the 10th for a second then was the deficit between Poorly Orange and Lost Souls then. Glock third in the end, but remember he was on the medium compound tires then. So then we are now into qualifying 3 then. Well, almost. We got about 12 minutes in qualifying 3 to sort themselves out really of who's going to start where. That is going to be that is the question, isn't it? Which is going to be on everyone's mind about who's going to start on which position. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Right now then, here we go then. 12 minutes, and I think it stopped raining. It has stopped raining. So I'm wondering, we might even get some soft tires out there as well. Then let's take a look. Then the intermediate tires are fit at the moment, unless there's a very light sprinkling of rain, which I can't see perhaps. But that is a very interesting piece of news, isn't it? I reckon we're going to be on the soft tires body in this one. So this is going to get very interesting indeed, isn't it? Right then, there is some soft tires already going on to the cars, isn't it? So yeah, there's a lot of drivers out there there is no rain at all. Look at that, then we're on board with the side part of Porty Orange, and well, there is no rain coming down from the sky, is there? And he is now coming on the pit as well. Who's the first car out? It is actually Walker. We're on board with Walker, and that track is going to dry out quite quickly, of course, because remember that this is a remember that there's a lot of drainage on this. There's a lot of drainage, isn't there, on the circuit of Suzuka. Then we're on board then with Walker then, as he is just going for the S as well then. So I think that I'm expecting a couple of guys to do half and half. So maybe have a lap on the intermediate tires, then come back in, and then they're going to go. Then they're going to go out into silver. They're going to. This is silver. Then they're going to go out onto the red stripe, soft compound tires then. And now we're on board then with Walker. He's going under the crossover. Remember, the only figure of 8 circuit on the grid, on the calendar as well. Of course, remember we've got 22 races next season. For season 4 of gold, for season 2 of silver, for season 2 of a bronze as well. Ryan is Glock is just saying dry in 10 minutes. The monitor says, and Velocity Games is saying ice cream time. Oh, I love to have an ice cream right now. We've also got not much point in using the intros. Glock is saying dry my garden while I chill and have a cuppa and a quick smoke as well then. So I think Droffa is enjoying his afternoon, isn't he, or evening, in the lovely sunshine. Unfortunately, I have made it it's gone very dark in my room because of course the sun goes right into my eyes, doesn't it? Now then we're into the triangle chicane as well, as the Walker is going to be the first man to have a go on this track, which is drying out quite quickly, isn't it? And now then he's coming on the grid and he starts us up now into the pits. In the pits there's both McLarens of Murphy and V Todd. Also in the pits is Explained and Glock as well. Everyone else is out on track then, so it's not as chock block as what it normally is out there. So there's going to be a lot more space, isn't it? Of course, this is quite a long elongated track, isn't it? Elongated track, I should say. And now we're just coming out for that. Is Grant is saying, I've just had a Mexican steak, and that was warm. Oh goodness me! Then there's Grant. They're really enjoying. I love a good steak, don't I? I'm definitely much a medium rare kind of guy. He's got yellow flags. There's one of the Renaults there. That's Nigel. Oh, he's gone for a bit of grass. Cut it there as he's on the grass. Here's invalidated his time, Nigel has. So unfortunately we're leaving to it and we're going back to the car that he is driving in gold. And that is their racing point in the Pink Panther. And now he's coming up to the hairpin as well then. And you can see dropping down to 30 miles an hour then before stamping on the throttle, and away he goes then. And now he is going to go through the fast kinky kink, isn't he? Coming up to Spoon as well. And you can see, look how much less water is coming off those tires, isn't it, before I go into Spoon then, and dropping down that. Oh, look at this, he's hacksawed away, and he has to steer into the oversteer, doesn't he, for Walker. Very well controlled there. I'm loving that then, as he's now building up to the hill, isn't he? And you can see then he is going up to 170, 180, 190 miles an hour, and as it comes into the 130R, 123, 2 there. Lovely stuff indeed then. Oh, he's off the track there, Walker is, and that is invalid his time. He's also skated across the triangle chicane over the AstroTurf, and he is back in the pits. And what a shame there for Walker. Really giving it full welly, wasn't he? Here comes Orange. Here comes, I was going to say someone else then. Here comes Poorly Orange out, and he's also in the pits as well then. Not feeling the need then to complete these laps, is it? Any of these guys are. Nigel's also coming in the pits. What about Lost Souls? Is he going to continue on with this lap then, or is he going to abandon it as well? Everyone's in the pits then. It's a bit of an awkward time, isn't it? Is it too late now to have 2 runs on the soft tires then? Perhaps then, of course, I think it's still a bit wet, isn't it, out there to go onto the soft tires? But Kingto doesn't think so, does he? Goodness me, Kingto is out there straight away on those soft tires, and we'll see what this qualifying session brings to us then as well. And flying through the 130R is Lost Souls as well then, and is he going to complete his lap? I don't think he is. He's running out of deployment there. Kingto is DRS enabled. I'm expecting a flood of cars as well, and he's carrying on. Lost Souls is, you can see very much correct in the car, isn't he? And Lost Souls is faster one, and putting in a banker kind of lap there. And of course, it depends whether that's going to be deal or no deal, or dice or no dice, isn't it? As the gangsters used to say, was no, I don't know. I must have only watched Goodfellas a couple of weeks ago. Actually, a classic of a film, isn't it? I would suggest you go and have a watch of that as well. Really good film indeed. I well enjoyed that. So yeah, another bit of useless information for you guys out there. But yeah, I quite enjoyed Goodfellas. So yeah, have a watch. Really well done. Really good stuff indeed. indeed. And of course, I think it's still on Netflix, actually, isn't it? Possibly. I'm actually waiting for I'm waiting for the new X-Men film to come out on Sky Movies. I think it's Rise of the Phoenix or something like that. I'm a big old nerdy nerd. Of course, I love a bit of Marvel, but I quite like the X-Men as well, which is not the most popular franchise, is it, of Marvel? But I do love X-Men as well. Anyway, so we're now coming into the final stages of this qualifying session as well. Then stamping away. Then Kingzone is about to get on a lap then, and here we go. Then it's now he's coming over the grid hatch as well. DRS is enabled now then because there is no more water coming from the sky. The track is almost bone dry. Let's go on board with Kingzone. He had to steer out, didn't he, going into turn one then, and of course he's going to lose a fraction of time there, isn't he? And now then he's building up the hill. He's building up the hill as well. Then you can see him going through the S's then. Of course the track is still going to be quite green, isn't it, at this stage of proceedings then. There's not much as the water has washed away some of the Pirelli rubber, hasn't it? So that is Kingzone was just finding out again. It's like relearning, isn't it, where the grip is, which of course in the qualifying 3 you can't relearn anything. You got to get on it, don't you? So this is going to be about talent. This is going to be about feel, isn't it, in this qualifying session as well. And now Kingzone is coming up into the hairpin as well then, and as you can see, look at the amount of lock there, 40 miles an hour then, stamping on the throttle then, and away he goes then. And now he is coming out of, oh my goodness me, cutting the grass there, isn't he? And now he's coming out to Spoon as well then. Let's see what he'll do. He's going up to 190 miles an hour before breaking down then. Spoon is a very difficult corner. It's very awkward, isn't it? We've had a lot of famous incidents over the years there. Verstappen and Vettel for one. We also had a incident between Murphy and Sam there last night as well, didn't he? As Sam was a bit over exuberant, wasn't he? As Manu has just had a damn MGK, as of course that is the kinetic motor generator, I think, isn't it, or something like that. I don't know. The engine on these cars are way too complicated, is it? You need Ken Kravitz, don't you, to talk about them? There's a lot of engine parts. It's called power units now, isn't it? Kingzone was done a 37.027. Good time so far for Kingzone. Right out of the box there. Beautiful. Wow, look at this as he flies through turn one. Fantastic stuff indeed then. Lost Souls is coming out of the pits again. V-Top then is coming to the 130R. He is on an outlap. It's Walker, I should say. Also out there as well. As Glock is on a lap then. Glock and explains as well. Glock is in the pit. So we've only 4 minutes to go in this qualifying session. This is not getting good at all, is it? And so then Glock's going to have to come in and come back out. That's going to be a very quick turnaround, isn't it? Walker coming through the 130R as well. Remember what happened this time in the last lap? He had to go there on those intermediate tires as well, and then before stamping on the accelerator. Coming out now. Let's see what he can do then. He's almost out of the pole. He's turning up beautifully well, Walker. He is on pole position in only a second race here in silver. Fantastic stuff there. And maybe the mark of the devil as well. A 35.666. Brilliant stuff there from Walker. Fantastic. And brilliant stuff indeed. And what explains that he's invalid. It's time for the Red Bull. He's only got 3 minutes there. Is he coming in the pits? He is coming in the pits, and he's not got long, has he, to get that car turned around, has he? And as now we're just watching as Glock is just not dry enough quite yet then, as Glock is just now got to wait a couple of seconds, I think, before coming back out. Lost Souls is back out on track at the moment as well then, and then Grant is saying go on Walker, and at the moment Walker is top of the time sheets, isn't it? This is it then. This is where it's all or nothing, isn't it, for qualifying. Can anyone get on pole position then for the Japanese Grand Prix, or who will get on pole position? Currently as it stands there, Glock has had 14 pole positions to his name, hasn't he, in his career here in silver. Fantastic. We've had 3 pole positions for Lost Soul as well. Is he going to make it a 4th here tonight then? He's going over the grid hatch. He's about to start up now. 2 minutes to go in this session then. I'm feeling that these guys are waiting very long, isn't it? I wouldn't be able to wait that long, of course, as it's about poker now, isn't it? Of course, when you know when to hold them and know when to fold them then. And now coming up the S's as well then, and go through the S's as well. Lovely stuff indeed then, as you can see, dropping down into 4th gear there, and now before stamping on the throttle as well, going through the last part of the S's in the Dunlop there. Lost Souls there, very much on the outskirts of the track there, almost a bit too wide there, but now he's 3 seconds up there in the first sector alone then. That's the second Degner done beautifully well, as sweet as a nut then. Remember, he has got 3 pole positions to his name as well, hasn't he? Lost Souls has. Now in this gaggle of cars, only 2 men have been on pole position, and in silver anyway, and that is Glock and Lost Souls, isn't it? Of course, Murphy's been on pole position numerous times there in gold, hasn't he? He's been on pole position 3 times in gold. Nigel's also been on pole position a handful of times as well in gold. But this is silver, isn't it? It's a different kettle of fish, isn't it? And now then they're coming up the hill, then that's Lost Souls' teammate, who's currently the target to beat, isn't he, at the moment? Walker is and he's 7 seconds up there in the second sector. So we're coming up to the final corner now. Sorry, the second to last corner, which is the triangle chicane. He has enough time to go around again if he needs to, but I'm wondering about the fuel there. I wonder how much Lost Souls has got on fuel, but he's hugging that barrier. That is pole position, and a lovely shot from the suspension then, and he is from pole position by a 31.627. A cracking time indeed then for Lost Souls then, and that is currently his 4th pole position of his career in silver. Can he remain there though, as Walker is going around again then? So this is Walker's second lap then. He's done harvesting, so that is a cool down lap. He's going for it once again then, and let's see what he does, and throws it into turn 1 then. Of course, a 35 then is the current Walker's current time. I expect him to go quicker because the track is now almost in a well, it ain't in perfect condition anymore, is it? But it's in a much better position than when he had it. Look at those queue of cars. Look at those queue of cars and coming through the coming through the triangle chicane. Alhan. Then we've got a Mercedes of Paulie Orange behind as well, and we've only got 4 seconds. So Kingdom is now just coming through as well. He should make it. Walker is a 2 seconds up there in the first sector alone then, so making much better strides on this lap, isn't he? And now flying into the hairpin then as well. Look at that lush shot there, an absolutely beautiful shot then indeed then. Now accelerates to the way then, coming out of the hairpin then, you can see, look at that, a bit of the sun flare right on the T-cam there. Lovely shot indeed then, as he is now coming up to the hairpin as well. Let's see what it does then. 191 miles an hour, breaking down then into a 4th gear then as well, and now he goes back on the front there, isn't he? And now he goes over the curb, and now he's coming up to the 130 yard, and yellow flags is available. It's that a red ball? It is a red ball. Explains there's not a problem. Explains is not a problem, and he is out. I think that's it for Explains, that he is gonna beat. He ain't gonna. He's coming no harder than 8th, then, is he? What a shame for Explains then. What a shame indeed then. It's he Explains to retire from the session, and he is 8th for the moment then, as it stands. That's as best he's gonna get. Walker is on pole position there at 30.877. That's his second qualifying performance, his 1st pole position. Fantastic stuff indeed then. Kingdom is coming out spoon then, but we've got McLaren about to finish this lap then. Here's Vitard. Vitard is on pole position. What about Glock? Glock is on pole position then. What about Nigel? Nigel's coming through as well. It's not going to be enough here. Second on his debut. Murphy is 3rd in the second McLaren as well. What about Kingdom and Paulie Orange? Paulie Orange is 2nd there. He's doing 29s. Glock is the only man in the 28th. Can Kingdom now get anything done? And he is in 6th position in the end then. So that is the end of qualifying then. And goodness me, that was a oh, that was a frightfully good end there to qualifying, wasn't it? And well done to Glock. Then that is his 15th pole position of silver, and 3/10 of a second quicker than anyone else. That is absolutely splendid stuff, isn't it? To say the least, then, isn't it? Paulie Orange alongside him on row 1, and this is becoming a mini ode rivalry, isn't it, for the end of the season? Nigel, the first ever ALR season 1 champion, is 3rd. Murphy in 4th position. Alhan 5th, with Kingdom in 6th. Vitod is 7th, Walker 8th then. Lost Souls only down in 9th in the end. He went too early, didn't he, the Austrian? And 10th position Explains then. Unfortunately, he didn't get a time in the end then. So 15 pole positions there in 17 17 races there for Glock. Absolutely fantastic stuff indeed. I think it's 18 races actually. Brilliant stuff indeed then. We're going into the race now then. Fantastic stuff indeed then. Glock is just to get in there, and really very good stuff indeed there for Glock. Then he is, I think he's very happy with himself for that one then. Right then, I've got to say that's completely different to the qualifying, isn't it? It was a bit grey and gloomy in Q2, and we had a sprinkle of rain for the end of Q2, and then in Q3 it started dry. But now we're in the race as well, and it's lovely, beautiful sunshine out here in the land of the rising sun as well. And so here we go then. This is the Japanese Grand Prix, around 19 out of 21 then. There is only 78 points up for grabs. The Drivers' Championship has been decided. The Constructors' Championship has been decided. Who is going to be second? That hasn't been decided yet. And who is going to get the final promotion place? That is also going to be decided as well then. And now then, we are getting ready for the formation lap. 19 cars then is on this grid. So unfortunately, we haven't got a Ferrari then. And we've got to say, it's the curse of the Ferrari in ALR, isn't it? We don't seem to, Ferrari don't seem to get the rub of the green, do they? Right, 27 laps then around this Japanese Grand Prix circuit. Here we go then. Let's go for the grid chart from front to back. Then Glock on pole position now for the 15th time in his ALR silver career. Brilliant stuff indeed then. Paulie Orange is alongside him on row 1. That's going to be fantastic. Third position is Nigel. Fourth position is Murphy. Fifth is Alhan. Sixth position is Kingdom. V Todd is in 7th position with Walker in 8th position. 9th position is Lost Souls. And 10th position explains I didn't get a lap in the end then, which he'll be quite disappointed by, I believe. 11th position is Droftas. In 12th position is Wilson. 13th position is Alpe, who is in the pits, I think, or he's on the grid. 14th position is a Velocity. Ghost is in 15th. Iceman is 16th. Razor is 17th. 18th position is a FIFA, and 19th is a Serious Mushroom. Everyone is on the soft or medium compound tires. No one has gone on to the hard tires here tonight. As now we're just about to. There's a ghost there. Oh my goodness me, there was a ghost there, and it was a Alfa Romeo with Velocity there who is spun it coming out the hairpin there. Is he probably wished I spared his blushes there, didn't he? And I wouldn't have noticed then. So medium tires for Glock, soft tires for Paulie Orange. The two of the front runners there, two of the front row is on a different tire compound here. This is going to be very incredible, isn't it, to say the least then. We got Paulie Orange on the soft, Glock on the medium, Nigel on the soft as well, and Dan on the medium then. Oh goodness me, this is going to be great stuff going into turn 1, isn't it? And now then, it's a lovely shot from the suspension of the Red Bull, isn't it? Of course, Glock a double champion of silver, and of course the Constructors Champion as well. Red Bull been fantastic this season, haven't they? They really have. And Glock is now lining up on the grid and getting ready then for the lights to come on, and of course, when they go out, that will signal the race start, won't it? The Japanese Grand Prix. As I said, round 19 of 21 this season, the first ever season of silver, and it's been absolutely fantastic, hasn't it? As a Velocity come charging through the field then. Oh no, you can see, look at that, Paulie Orange there, just to the left of us, right behind that tyre of Glock then as well. They're going to be very much focusing on each other going into turn 1. 5 sets of lights are on then, and of course we do have a traditional delay here in the ALR, and the revs are building. We are go here in Japan now, and it's a great start out from a Glock then as Paulie Orange is just gone behind him. Glock then, so Glock had a fantastic start on the medium tires as they go into turn 1 then, and how they going, it's a very difficult first couple of corners, isn't it? There's not really much room for error then, and they are all away more or less the same then, as V Todd and Walker are going side by side, count up the S's, and V Todd is just dropped out of position there. Walker moving up into 7th position. Lost Souls is still in 9th position at the moment. And unfortunately, we've lost. But Explains is going to probably damage the car. He's damaged the car. He also had to steer out then. And Serious versus LP is out of the race then. And as Explains is up for session as well. Then so Explains there out of the race as well. Quite early on then. Explains is unfortunate. Glock leads. Paulie Orange is second. Then he's on the soft tires then. And Paulie Orange just didn't get the getaway that he wanted, did he? Look at us. He's already changing the systems there on the Mercedes then. He's already trying to pull up he's trying to pull up some full beans, isn't it? Oh my goodness me, look at this, there's Walker and Kingshelm, and hopefully he ain't got a repeat of yesterday, but not at this moment in time. Then Kingshelm is in 6th position, 7th position is Walker at the moment. We have also had a Velocity is now up until 11th position. Now Droftas is under a lot of pressure there from Iceman. We've also got Razor and Ghost are battling away as well in a 13, 14 and 15 position as well as they come over the crest of the hill. Look at all these cars, and this is going to be good stuff indeed then, as we fly through the 130 yard. Razor's going side off the track there, and now they're coming into the triangle chicane. Now Williams there, as we slightly cut off Glock has set the fast side of the race. Oh, that's a Renault going off the track there as well. Now we've got side by side action. We're on board the Williams side now, so we've also got a couple of positions being changed there. Paulie Orange is taking the lead. Paulie Orange is taking the lead going into turn 1 then. Is Glock going to try and go back on the outside? Paulie Orange strikes quite quickly whilst the iron's hot, and he is now leading this race then. Fantastic manoeuvre from Paulie Paulie Orange there without DRS, and he didn't want Glock to be in a rudder form, did he? And Walker also passed Kingzo as well. Lost Souls also moving up into a position. Great maneuver there from Paulie Orange, and he is now through and takes the lead here in silver. Kingzone there is now in seventh position. There is Lost Souls head is trying to get by Kingzone. Kingzone, of course, had a renaissance, hasn't he, since US of A, hasn't he, as they come under the crossover and coming up to the hairpin as well. Anyway then, so it's Kingstone's gone white then. Oh, Lost Souls, I tried to get on the power a bit too early there, and the car just didn't like it, started snaking around, didn't it? And now they're coming up to Spoon once again, and there's a lot of nip and tuck action at this moment in time. LP is joined, but he's joined slightly late, hasn't he? Unfortunately, his car is in the pits. We have lost 2 cars in this Japanese Grand Prix already. We've lost Explains, and we have also lost LP, who unfortunately did not get on the grid, did he? And so now then, as we're on board then with Lost Souls, and he's going to go on the outside. He's going to go on the outside. The 130, is he? Oh my goodness me! Fantastic racing! He went off the track. Sorry, look at the background. Someone's gone right off the track, haven't they? And now Lost Souls is up the order as well. He's up in the 7th position. Fantastic. Put on set the fast up racing. Mercedes is getting his elbows out. We've also got Draw Fast in there as well. Draw Fast is now all over the back of Wilson then, as they're coming over the grid hatches once again. And look at how close he is. And he is going side by side with Wilson. And as they come up the grid hatches, and is he going to go into turn 1? Wow! Look at that then. Fantastic stuff indeed. Then Draw Fast is now in the 10th position. Wilson in 11th position. Velocity is off. He is off. He has spun it. And doing a very good job there to let all the grid go through. Unfortunately for Velocity, has dropped right down to the back of the field. That he's really struggled with the setup of that car, hasn't he? With the handling of the car. It's a Paulie Orange there taking a little bit of the curb there into the first Degna. Fantastic. And now they're coming out of the crossover once again. So I'm losing my headset there. I'm getting too excited. We've also got the 2 racing points there. Is Lost Souls are going slightly wide then. Coming out of the first Degna. But Lost Souls now all over the back of Walker. Walker on a cracking job doing a cracking job in the second racing point at the moment. Fantastic stuff indeed. Then I would say this is a close battle on track at the moment, but Iceman is also starting to shape up and move on at Wilson as well. Drop Stas is now in the top 10. Al Hanna doing a great job in 5th position as well. Of course, both those 2 men are in the promotion places as it stands at the moment. Coming out of Spoon then, and dropping down the hill before coming up the hill into the 130. Walker on a fantastic run out of the Spoon corner, isn't it? Glock is now really starting to find his feet, isn't he? In the battle for the lead, then this could be a race on battle on alternative strategies, and then that's what I'm loving. And this is going to get very tasty indeed, isn't it? Here on board, Glock over the shoulder there with the world champion as well. And let's see what he's doing at the moment. Paulie Orange is currently happy enough, and isn't he, in the lead of this race anyway. So Paulie Orange then Lost Souls has got past Walker. He flies up through. Drop Fast has got past Vitor as well. Vitor dropping down the order slightly. He is now down into 10th position as well. Serious Mushroom getting past FIFA Beefy, and Mushroom is now up into 14th position, and both Williams is doing a good job then. They're now 13th and 14th at this stage of proceedings then. We've got Explained to LP then right to the back, then both out of this race unfortunately. Back to the leaders then at the moment, and it looks like Glock has also found his feet, found the handling on these medium compound tires, and it's starting to really cause Paulie Orange some little just a bit of worries there. Just looking over his shoulder, isn't he? Here is the man who's been the benchmark, who has been a silver, hasn't he? So far this season, he has been incredible, hasn't he? Grant is saying that he is happy with Williams at the moment. They're doing a great job in 13th and 14th position, and I think later on in this race as well, they're going to look at this. Oh wow, Kingto has gone on the outside there, but the Walker's on the inside into Spoon now. Brilliant stuff there. It's Walker really struggling at this stage of proceedings, isn't he? And now coming up the hill, and look at Droftas beyond as well, nearly on the back of his teammate. Remember, Toro also on a good old scrap with Haas for the battle for the constructors in 2nd place, isn't it? And now he's coming through the 130R again then, and he's too far back now. Ghost is, whoa, my goodness me, Ghost there, not shy, is he? He's straight through, straight past Iceman, and moved up into 12th position at the moment. Paulie Orange there is, luckily the straight is not long enough at the moment, is it? And just taking a look down the order at the moment, and we've got 5 10 seconds separation towards Droftas and his teammate, and we've got Iceman who is right on the back of Ghost Recon. Oh goodness me! And that was very frightful. That was very frightful. But he's on the outside. The gun. Williams there is not having that though, is he? And Ghost repels the attack of Iceman, doesn't he? By thinking of this battle so from over, Iceman's got damage on that Renault there, hasn't he? A lot of damage actually on the front wing there. So that, I wonder if he's going to have to change that. He's going to have a lot of understeer there, isn't it, through these S's, and that's going to really cost him an awful amount of time here in Suzuka there, especially in the first sector. Of course, it's all about the turning, isn't it? With all those S's there building up the hill as well. I'm coming into the crossover once again. Now the two Toro Rossos are starting to come into combat. I'm wondering if if we might have a bit of team play here at the moment. Then King's as Walker is struggling. Then we've got yellow flags as well in the Alfa Romeo. So Velocity is having some issues there, isn't he? And we've said that he was having a real struggle with the car, wasn't he? And he's gone for Dunlop by the looks there, and he's just recovering back on track now. Yellow flag, no safety car, no full safety car, and and it looks like no virtual safety car either. But the yellow flags are still out, I think, for the Alfa Romeo, just trying to get himself back at the speed. And Droftas is all over the back of his teammate. Lovely shot from the steering wheel here, but we want to see there it is. Oh goodness me! And look at this, is there zigzagging back and forward on the track. Oh my goodness me then. And now then King's Home is now on the inside, so Droftas is going to be on the outside then. I was thinking about team play, but there is no such thing as team play in these Toro Rossos. Goodness me then. It's, oh my goodness me, Droftas in a gap. He went for it. That was a Toro Rosso sized gap then, and he stuck his nose in that gap, but it's still not enough because King's Home has got quite a bit of speed, flicking it into turn one then. And wow, goodness me then. So yeah, I was kind of alluding to team play there for the Toro Rossos. Absolutely none whatsoever, is there? I wonder if it's of course the construction is very tight then, but of course these drivers don't care about the teams, do they? They just care about their own points, don't they? These drivers are selfish human beings, aren't they? And why shouldn't they? That's what makes you great drivers, isn't it? Fantastic. VTOL is now also coming to the back of these Toro Rossos as well, and trying to find his foot as well. VTOL is on the soft compound tires. Medium tires are looking much more healthier at this stage of the race, I would say, with a Glock matching poor the orange stride for stride. Murphy is now 8/10 of a second away from Nigel as well, and we've also got both Toro Rossos who's keeping Walker for company as well. Lovely shot here, just looking down the McLaren of V Todd then, and he is currently 10th for the moment. He's got 1.5 second deficit over his teammate then, and we've also got Serious Mushroom is now also gaining on the back of Iceman, of Iceman as well. Then they come out of Spoon then, and now he's stamping on the throttle. Then Iceman is, and really gaining, isn't he, on the back of Iceman? The damage on that end plate is really struggling, isn't he? And he's now coming up to the 130 yard. Look at how much more, pace he's got at the moment with the soft tires. And Iceman, and he was going to go defensive, but I think it's too late because Serious Mushroom's already there. He's up the inside, takes it, and that's a great manoeuvre there, isn't it? Oh my goodness me, there's a bit of contact. Iceman there showing to go in a straight line. He's also in the pits there after damaging the car then, and just going back to here because Droftas is through, passes his teammate. Where's his teammate? Oh, he's gone too wide, and now King's Home has gone up and under. A lovely bit of cut back there from King's Home there, and he still has the measure over his teammate as it stands alone as they once again build. Yes, it's King's Home. It's the gone side with the sneak. Oh wow, what a move for Droftas. He is through up into a finish. A fantastic maneuver. King's Home is under attack there from the second McLaren. Wow, that's incredible stuff there from from Droftas. And look at this as now we're coming into the second Degner then. Yeah, King's Home there. It looks like the S's there. I wonder, his tires shouldn't be going off at this stage, should they? Yellow flags is fluttering in 2 at the moment. That was very quick. That was very brief. As Ghost has just dropped down, he's damaged the car. The Williams driver has. That's a lot of damage on the end plate as well. The only saving grace he has is that he is on the soft tires, so he might be able to cut the pits there and throw on a set of medium tires there. And now as FIFA Beefy goes up into 13th position there in the Alfa Romeo. Yellow flags is in 1. That's Velocity, same position there in Dunlop. He's really struggling there, isn't he? Now Glock is now 4/10 of a second away, isn't he? Lost Souls is really interested in the back of Alhan now, isn't he? As they come over the grid hatchings once again, then DRS is wide open then, but at the moment then that is he's not close enough, is he? And yellow flags in 1 and 2 again then. Look at this train of cars, and look at this train of cars, which is actually headed by Nigel at the moment, isn't it? King's always back through past them. Oh my goodness me, look at the Toro Rossos there. Oh, and look at this, look left, that's drop pass on the outside. Fantastic, winging it on the outside there from the two Toro Rosso boys. Brilliant stuff indeed then. And now they're coming up the S's, and that's fantastic driving then, isn't it? This is the part I'm interested in here though, is this train of cars. Alhan's dropped off the back slightly, hasn't he? Alhan on soft tires, so is Lost Souls, and so is Nigel Murphy. I think needs to get past Nigel as quick as possible, because the gap is now up to 5 seconds there. Ghost is in the pits there, he's gone the hard tires now. So Force is saying soft runners might start struggling soon, mediums will come into their own. I think the medium tires are very much the tire to be on at the moment, isn't it? Having said that, Glock has dropped back to a second, interestingly enough. And just on board then with Lost Souls at the moment. Look at him changing the settings on the steering wheel, isn't he? He's gonna go full beans now, isn't he? As you can see down the bottom right hand side of the telemetry there, he is now really turned it up there to the max there. He wants to overtake Alhan. He wants to get past Alhan as quickly as possible. Glock has also gone full beans as well, and it's really now starting to give Paulie Orange something to really think about, isn't he? Lap 8 then. No, lap 9, I apologise, of the 27 lap Japanese Grand Prix. Lovely shot of the suspension, but we don't to see that, do we? Nigel's gone defensive, then Alhan hasn't got too defensive really, but I think Lost Souls is going to be bit by him, is he? We're coming into the first turn. Where is he? There he is, and he is up into 5th position. He goes slightly wide then, but Alhan is dropped down to 6th position. Lost Souls is up into a fantastic 5th position then. Lost Souls, remember, was I think he started down in 9th position, didn't he, or 10th? Fantastic how he's coming back through this field then, and his next target is actually Murphy on the medium. It's Shard McLaren there. Murphy needs to get past Nigel as quickly as possible, doesn't he, really? Because look, the gap is now up to 6 seconds almost. He is losing a lot of time, Nigel is there. That's almost a second since we last spoke about it. Goodness me, there is we've just had a dab there from Bailey Smith there, and I'll give you a dab back as well. Unfortunately you missed that, but yeah, I did do a dab, I promise. And now it's coming under the crossover as well. Lost Souls are on the back of it now. Then Murphy is half a second in front of us. Murphy is also half a second behind Nigel as well. And in the foreground there is an Alfa Romeo. I think that is Velocity, who's having a nightmare of a race at the moment, isn't he? Struggling at Dunlop, isn't he? He's really he's been off there a couple of times, hasn't he? As Gunnar said, nice racing by the Toro Rosso boys. Very nice racing indeed, isn't it? They come with the crest of the hill then. Coming to the 130 as well. And Murphy is all over the back, isn't he? But so is Lost Souls. I think Lost Souls has woken Murphy up slightly, hasn't he? And they're coming into the triangle chicane. Murphy's on the inside there. He's gone slightly wide. That yellow flag as Raytar's retired from the session. That is coming up to Spoon now. We've got a safety car in this race, and Alhan is the first man to react in the Haas then. And Razor's had a big old smash indeed, hasn't he? So just take a look, see where he is then. He's gone off there, hasn't he? Of course, that was a similar place to where he had a major incident yesterday, but this safety car is really going to bunch things up. It's going to help the likes of Velocity and Ghost, isn't it? And so where is Alhan is going to be he's coming out the pits now then, so he might be a big winner in this one, depending on what he's behind in the traffic as well. As oh no, Glock has got a problem. His DRS is stuck open. Glock's DRS is stuck open, and it looks close there, but I'm wondering if that's because we can't see it. But Glock's wing was his DRS was stuck open there. That is not good at all for Glock, is it? Luckily though, it is under a safety car, so hopefully he can get that sorted. Razor's out of the race, and he has left the session in the Ferrari, unfortunately then. And Oisman's got a penalty there for speed in the pits, and Kingston was out in 12th position. FIFA on the hard tires. Kingston was on the soft tires, interesting enough, and so is Oisman. Oisman's on the medium tires, and Ghost is coming to the pits. He'll done one lap on the hard tires. What tires is the Williams driver is going to go on? I wonder if he's going to throw on a set of medium tires. We seen last night that the medium tires can go to the end from here. Let's see where are the Williams boys? There are the Williams boys and the mechanics. Those are the yellow striped medium compound tires, and now they are getting to work now then. Lovely stuff indeed then, and you can see it's almost like clockwork, isn't it? So Paulie Orange then is, of course, they haven't even caught up to the safety car yet. They have to adhere to the delta on the steering wheels, isn't it? They don't want to go over that delta, do they? And the DRS is now closed now on Glock's car, so hopefully that is a drive-through penalty for us for speeding under the safety car. That is not good at all, is it? Oh no! And the Glock and Paulie Orange have both have been received a drive-through penalty for speeding the pits. Both of them got 5 seconds added to their time then. So is status quo then. And Paulie Orange coming out of the pits now. And Glock, did he get held up slightly? Might be slightly. Paulie Orange on the medium tyres. Glock is on the hard tyres now then. Interesting stuff. And both guys are going slightly different ways in terms of strategy then. There's Nigel out of the pits as well. Dan is also behind Nigel there, isn't he? I'm sure he got past. Wilson is also now a buffer in between his teammates. So Wilson might be playing the rear gunner here for his teammate Paulie Orange. Said that is not what Glock wanted to see as it will be. He does have 10 lap owed 10 up medium tyres, doesn't he? Nigel in 4th position, Murphy is 5th, Lost Soul 6th, Alhan 7th, Walker 8th position, Drofast is in 9th position, V Todd 10th, and Serious Mushroom 11th, King Zone is in 12th, FIFA in 13th, Iceman 14th, but he's got a drive through penalty. 15th is Ghost, Explains in 16th there, but he's out of the race, and 17th is Velocity, and Velocity is currently just being lapped at the moment, isn't he? And that's unfortunate to say the least, isn't it? And guys, just taking a quick look in the comments there. Glock is not he hates his game, and we have also got Grant. He's saying he did 17 laps yesterday on the medium tyres. Paulie's got this. It's going to be very interesting. At least I'm loving how they've gone completely different strategies. But there's also an added obstruction in this race now, and that is Jake Wilson, isn't it? He's done 10 laps on those medium tyres, hasn't he? Of course, he's probably going to go to the softs now to the end then. But those medium tyres, will Glock, how long can Glock take to overtake Wilson? That is the question. And also Murphy's got on the soft tyres there in the McLaren then. So interesting stuff, isn't it? This safety car is really definitely routed a few cages out there, hasn't it? It's definitely interesting to say the least, isn't it? As they coming now up into the 130 R&D. Then Velocity's got a 5-second penalty for it. Norniel flag said as he is now just steamed to the front then, because it's only a 5-second penalty, isn't it? So he could just carry on now and go for it and see if he can catch it to the back then. It did say he was disqualified from the session there, but ignore that because I'm sure that's come up before. And then I think it was Mike, wasn't it, in Austria? Of course, the Mercedes driver from Bronze, as Iceman's now got a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags there. Iceman is really paying the price then. Murphy is back in the pits then, and I think this is a strategy call for Murphy. He was on the medium tyres. The safety cars might have ruined his race for Murphy. He didn't want to pit when there was no safety car, did he? So he's now coming back out, and he shouldn't need to go in the pits anymore unless he gets down driven from that. So Murphy is going to have an almighty end to this race, then, isn't he? Ghost is in 14th then, and we just got Iceman and Velocity. Just catch up to the safety car. I think that'll be it then for the safety car. It should be back in at the end of this lap, and we'll be back racing then. Safety car came out at the perfect time for the guys on soft. Indeed it did there, of course, from Forza saying then that it's really helped the guys on the safety cars. That's just underlined what's happened to Dan Aston. What a shameful Murphy making his debut here in silver, the ALR veteran, of course, but this is the first time he's driving in silver. He's now driven in all 3 leagues, Murphy has, and I think, and of course that would be a new record, but I think just B actually did it, didn't he? And I think Mike did as well in Austria. I think he drove in all 3 races, didn't he? I think both those guys did. So unfortunately that record has already been taken down. So now coming into the hairpin as well. Let's take stock. We're on lap 12. We're coming to half distance in this race, and we're a couple of laps away from half distance. As it stands, then Paulie Orange is leading. Second position is Jake Wilson, who hasn't pitted yet, so he's his rear gunner. Glock in third position. He's on the hard tyres. He's the only man on hard tyres apart from Droftas. Serious Mushroom is dropping down the order. Serious Mushroom has had a problem there, hasn't he? He's now getting back up the order in the Williams. I wonder if he went off the track there. In 4th position is Nigel. 5th position is Lost Souls. 6th position is Alhan. 7th position is Walker. Drofast is 8th position, the only other man on the hard tyres. 9th is V Todd. King Zone was in 10th position on the soft tyres. FIFA in 11th. Murphy in 12th position. 13th Serious Mushroom. Ghost in 14th. 15th is Iceman, and 16th is Velocity Retirements. Explains Razor and LPE. And now we are back racing then in the Japanese Grand Prix. And here we go then. We're now going to get ready to, we're now going to take off, and here we go. Oh, sorry. Here we go then, and you can see the famous it's Wilson has got a severe collision for the collision with Glock. That's not good at all, is it? Sorry. And now we're back racing. Paulie Orange has got a 2-second deficit. Glock is on the Pauling Stars as they come over the grid. Hutchins Kingston has got a 5-second penalty. We're back racing. And Glock there is weaving. Why is he weaving then? And now we're coming up into turn 1 as well. And look at this. Paulie Orange has got a 2-second deficit already over Glock then. Nigel in third position there, all over the back of Glock. And no overtakes then as we started, apart from Iceman, who was just getting by, explained the Ghost who explains that. And look at this. And how much time is Glock going to lose behind here? Look at this. It's 2.4 already. Nigel's trying to strike whilst the iron's hot. Then this is going to be very interesting indeed. Then and Glock is going to go on the he's going to go on the inside. It's going to be on the outside though into Degner 1. Oh my goodness me, he's on there. That's a fantastic win for Nigel. No, there's contact and that's big smash then. That's a big smash. And Wilson there, desperation there from Wilson, and he has damaged the car. And look at that racing point of Walker trying to go on the inside there out of the hairpin. And oh dear, then there's unfortunately Glock has got damage there. Glock has got damage there at the Red Bull. And unfortunately, Jake has lost all his front nose cone there, hasn't he? And that is not what we want. We've got a safety car in this race once again. And look at all the shenanigans going on. Paulie Orange had a 7-second deficit out there, and now it's all calmed down again. Nigel, has he got damage there? I'm sure he has. Yes, he has. Said that was a bit of a messy. Going on in the Degness, wasn't it? Anyway, then so we've got another safety car in this race then. That's not good at all, is it? Then so Paulie, I think that we'll have a majority of the guys staying out. One man who won't be staying out is Wilson. He's damaged the car. Glock he has damage as well, doesn't he? Wilson there really was trying just throwing it all against the wall, wasn't he? Really, unfortunately, that has cost him, hasn't it? It's cost him a whole front wing. It's cost Glock a damage on the wing there for Glock as well. I think he's going to be furious, isn't he? We've also got Nigel in the pits as well, getting very dangerous in the Degness there, wasn't it? Wilson there just throwing it all against the wall there. He's damaged the nose cone there on the Red Bull. He's changed it to the medium tires, and let's see what Glock can do from there. Then Kings has also changed the tires as well, as is Ghost and Nigel. Murphy is now back at the 8th position as well, so what a shame there. And Glock coming out of the pits then is just in the background there is Serious Mushroom also out as well then, but and Wilson's out in the pits, also got a new nose cone there to his name then. So Wilson was probably going to go on the soft tires. That's not happening, is it? Now he is on the he's got a full wing then, and as now we're coming back out of the pits as well then. So then as we're on lap 40 out of 27, another safety car in this race then, and it's really shuffled the pack up slightly, hasn't it? So then I'm gonna have to take stock again, and I really feel like a stock taker here tonight then. But so Paulie Orange is still leading, but it's all changed behind him now, isn't it? Lost Souls is now with the second position, and a fantastic race. Lost Souls is brilliant. Third position, Alhan once again there. Alhan is showing some incredible fortitude, isn't he? In that and that Haas then. Walker in fourth position there. Walker doing a good job as well in the racing point, isn't he? And was having a good old lunge there in the hairpin. Fifth position was Drofast. He's now on the hard tyres. Well, he was still on the hard tyres. Vitolim in the sixth position. FIFA now for the seventh with Murphy in eighth position. Nigel in ninth, and Velocity, who was all lost at sea, was in the first stint, is now up into 10th position. Fantastic stuff, Ben. Ghost is 11th position. He's on the soft tyres, but is the soft tyres going to get it to the end from there? Oh, I don't think so, to be honest. 12th position there is the second Williams of Serious Mushroom. Kingdom in 13th. Lamano is on pole position. Glock down in 14th position. Iceman is in 15th position. 16th position is Wilson. Retirements explains of Razor and Alp then. And the safety car is out now then. So we have now, this is going to be a final, it's going to be a cracking end to this Japanese Grand Prix then. And Bert Mylander is definitely earning his paycheck here today, isn't he? He's out once again then. And the safety car, there's two safety cars here in this race at the moment then. So then there's we're gonna have a bit of we're just gonna take a breather here at the moment. I'm not really of course I think that the action went on in Degner there. There was a lot of aggressive driving going on, wasn't there? And unfortunately there's a lot of drivers that lost a bit of wing element, and even a whole front wing there from Wilson. And unfortunately Nigel in the wrong place at the wrong time there as well, wasn't he? So so we're now just under the safety car. Glock has got a long way to go, hasn't he? Man, he was the man on pole position in this race, and currently he's down in 14th position at the moment. He's going to he's on the medium tires now. He was on the hard tires, and it was going to be a very interesting race, wasn't it, to see what to see what was going to happen, whether it's going to be the hard tires coming out on top, or whether it's going to be the soft tires. Whether it's going to be the medium tires coming out on top. We remember last night the medium tires did come out on top. They're having a fantastic drive from Granty, and was that going to be the same here tonight? Then unfortunately we ain't going to find out now. As Iceman is ghosting, so I'm not even sure if he's in this car, so he might potentially be out of this race as well. Poorly Orange then is I've got to say that restart from Poorly Orange was absolutely stellar, wasn't it? It's fantastic stuff from Poorly Orange there. Really well done then. And Poorly Orange is really starting to have an impressive second half of the season. He really is, isn't he? He's had 2 race wins, hasn't he? In the last 3 races, of course, he won in brilliant style in Austria, and then in USA as well. He did a great win as well. So he's had 2 race wins in 3 races. Is he going to make it 3 race wins in 4 races? Poorly Orange is at the moment. Los Soas is wants to really challenge that, doesn't he? He wants to get his 2nd race win of ALR Silver here tonight. It's going to be fantastic. The safe cars in the end of this up. That's the magic message I wanted to see. What you all wanted to see as well. Brilliant stuff indeed. Then, as now then we're now coming up to the finals. Now we're starting to get going as well. Then just take a quick look at the comments before we get going. As Nunda saying, not surprised about the safety car. It's Japan. Yes, old school, isn't it? As Grant said, thank you, darling. As Grant was talking to me. So now we're back racing. Then here we go. Then now we're on lap 16 out of 27. We're back racing here then. Poorly Orange had another good run then as look at FIFA Beefy all over the back of V-Tot then, and you can see then very near for then coming into turn 1. That's a poor camera shot. I love the suspension camera shot, but that's too much at this moment in time. Then V-Tot then is a got QB behind him, and then Murphy and also FIFA Beefy as well. Nigel's also going to be interested in the back as well. Wilson's got a 3-second penalty there for multiple warnings here. He's just gone to pass Iceman. I think that's confirmed Iceman's out of this race as well, unfortunately then. And it's a yellow flag in 1 because Nigel's off the track. Nigel's having a miserable time here in Japan, isn't he? Every race he's been in ALR, he's had some miserable luck, hasn't he? In the first race here, of course, he was leading, and he was forced to. Well, he made a mistake, didn't he? In the Dunlop, didn't he? And Jonathan took the win. And then last year he got taken out in the first corner. Yesterday he just ploughed into the back of one of the stationary cars that had some issues. And Velocity! Oh, that's 2 Williams is there as well. It's all gone completely. It's gone chaotic. A 5 second penalty there. And oh goodness me! And it's gone completely. It's gone absolutely insane here in this race. Really has. And Wilson's now back up to the 12th position. And Velocity is 11th position. And Glock is in at 10th position. And he's back in the points behind Kingdom at the moment. Murphy is all over the back of FIFA Beefy at the moment. He is going to do the switcheroo. Then Walker's got a 5-second penalty. That's quite a harsh penalty. I think he's must have cut the corner around there. And now then as we're coming out of the final turn, and no DRS just yet. Then no DRS yet. Of course, it's within 3 laps of the safety car coming in. And Glock has passed Kingdom and nothing to not push then. So this is Glock trying to come back through the field then. And let's see what we can do then. He's a couple of seconds behind FIFA. He's 7 seconds behind FIFA then, as we've had all as look, Kingston was trying to go on the outside of the turn 1 then. He's trying to haggle out to try them, but Glock is keeping his racing line, and he is in 9th position then, and that is done and dusted then. So good stuff indeed. I'm not sure what happened there between the 2 Williamses there and Velocity, but Velocity is still in 11th position. We're on board V-Todd at the moment then. Just in front of us is Droft Ass is on 7-lap old hard tyres, and we'll see what he can do from there as well. As Nigel's retired from the race, and he's just got real bad luck in Japan, hasn't he, Nigel? So that's unfortunate for Nigel on his first race in silver, and unfortunately it came to an out there, didn't it? Really, which is a shame then. And he's left the session as well. Glock is taking that 7-second lead over FIFA Beef, and it's down to 4 seconds already. Glock is a man on the mission. There we got yellow flags in 1. I'm not sure what's going on. 1. There's a I'm wondering if it's, I think it's Nigel's car there just pulling off to the side then perhaps, and Murphy is just under a second behind his teammate Vital at the moment. He's got 2 laps younger medium tyres, and that may pay dividends in the later stages of this Japanese Grand Prix. Poorly Orange is fast up the race then, and it's now starting to pull away from Lost Souls. Alhan in 3rd position, 4th is Walker doing a great job. DRS has now been enabled then. At the moment, the only man within DRS range is actually this battle here between Murphy and Vital then. Glock is now 3 3.6 seconds behind FIFA Beefy at the moment, and he is charging like a bull in that Red Bull, isn't he? Then, so I think he might be quite, unhappy about the incident at Degna too. Then, so that's unfortunate there, isn't it? Now we're on board Murphy. Look at how much time he's gaining out his teammate there, isn't it? Is that tyre wear, or is that just Murphy feeling that he's got more confidence underneath him in the McLaren at the moment? And we'll find out then as he is now going into Degna 1 as well. That looks very much like confidence there in that McLaren, isn't he? Drop fast is just in front of us as well, and so Murphy is where can Murphy go with the final 10 laps in this Japanese Grand Prix? Is he going to have a look up the inside and the hairpin? Not quite, then. Not quite. Vitol having a good race today, isn't he? And I think he's on a very strong Japanese event as well. But, hopefully I'm not. Hopefully I'm not putting the you know, the jinx on him, am I? And now he's coming into a spoon right now. V Todd is at the moment then. Now Dan Murphy also behind him as well. Sorry, as I was getting a call there. And now then as we're coming up the hill then, as we're coming up to the 130 yard, and there's 3 tenths a second at the moment is between the two McLarens. Glock, look at Glock at the background. Glock and FIFA Beefy are now also going to be coming together as well. Back gap at the front then is 1.6 seconds at the moment, and it's Paulie Orange there is very much there, really starting to stretch his lead then, and Murphy is side by side with his teammate. Murphy is through. Well, I say he's through, but he's still side by side. Now he's through. V-Todd dropping down the 7th then. What about Glock? Glock is also alongside with V-Todd as well. Sorry, with FIFA Beefy. Glock is having to wait for this there. FIFA dropping down into 9th for this there. FIFA on the hard tyres then. It may come back to him later on in the race as well. We've got both Williamsons now also having a bit of a difficult race then here tonight, aren't they? The two Williams guys are, but at the moment Ghost is through and in 13th position then. Serious Mushroom in 14th position then. So Walker's doing a fantastic job out there today, isn't he? Really well done for Walker. And where can he go from there? In the moment, he's 1.5 seconds behind Alhan. Yellow flag in 1. What's occurring in 1? And just taking a look. Nothing's going on at 1, which is, I think, is good. Anyway, then we're now back on board with Murphy. Then he's in 6th position. There's a target in front of us. Is Drop Fast, who's just 7 tenths in front of us at the moment. And then we got V-Todd and Glock, who is also charging back through the field as well in the Red Bull. Then, he was our pole sitter, not anymore though, is he? Dan Murphy there. Look at this, 6 tenths of a second, 5 tenths of a second. That gap is coming down metre by metre, centimetre by centimetre, isn't it? Murphy has really got of course he's on a softer tyre at the moment, he's on the medium compound tyre, whilst Draw Fast is on the harder tyre as well then. So Murphy's going to have more grip at this stage. The question is though, is he going to have enough grip at the end of this race then? 20 out of 27 then. Status quo at the moment, isn't it? And they fly into turn 1 then, and he is now all over the back of Drop Fast then, but he was too far back at the time then, wasn't he, to make any inroads, isn't he, on 5th position. Of course Murphy was one of the big losers, wasn't he, in that safety car period. He had to come in twice, didn't he, as he threw on as a Ghost is out of the race then, and he is coming to pits there. He is retired from the race, and they had a bit of a miserable day, isn't it, the Williams team are, which is a shame then. And Drop there, just clipping the grass there as well. Walker is not out of this yet, is he? He's 1.4 seconds in front of Droffas, and Droffas is now starting to really gain on Walker, isn't he? Droffas has gone wide there now. It's really encouraging Murphy, isn't it? It's really baiting Murphy on, isn't it? And where can he come then? Of course, he's helping the McLaren out big time here tonight, isn't he, Dennis? With both McLarens, they're doing a fine job in 6th and 7th position as it stands at the moment there. But Glock is only 1.5 seconds back from V-Todd then. Can V-Todd repel Glock then? Can Drop Fast repel Murphy as well? That's the question at the moment, isn't it? And they're coming into the 130 as well. At the moment, in the terms of the constructors then, Haas are still in 2nd position. Now, I think they're strengthening their hold on 2nd as well, as the current stands remain. And those are very unofficial though, isn't it? We've still got another 6 more laps to go in this Japanese Grand Prix. And Murphy there, it looks like he's now getting stuck in that zone where he's really struggling to get by. But then again, I might be wrong. I am wrong. He flies up the inside, passes Drop Fast, and moves into 5th position there. And Murphy there loves proving me wrong, and that's a perfect example there. Dan is now up into 5th position. A great move there from Dan, and Ghost is there for session there as well. And I think we're down to 13 cars in the race. Explains in Iceman are both out of the race as well. And And there we go. We got Kelly there just joining the comments there. Come on, Jake. Unfortunately, Jake was having a good race there. Of course, he didn't pit under the safety car, but unfortunately, he lost the whole wing section, didn't he? Murphy there is look at Glock then right on the back then of Vitard as Murphy is marching onto the back of Walker as well. I think Murphy and Glock are the two men on the mission now. I think Velocity is as well. Glock gone up the inside. A great move, a Kobayashi-esque move from Vitard. Sorry, from Glock then. Brilliant 17. Lovely shot there as we're looking down onto the Suzuka Grand Prix track. It's a brilliant aerial shot as well, flying into Spoon then, and Vitard is now got his wits about him, and now he can get after drop fast in that battle as well. We're on board Velocity. He's had a bit of an adventure of a race, but he's now just 8/10 of a second away from the points then. So great drawing from Velocity. That just shows you never give up on this game. You never give up on this game at all. And Kelly is saying that he hates this track. As it's a track where you either love it or hate it, don't you? It's this track can reward you at times. FIFA is now also fallen to the clutches of King's Home as well. And this is going to get very tasty as well. One of these three drivers is not going to get any points then, I think. But who is it going to be? Is it going to be FIFA, King's Home, or Velocity? Is going to be drawing the short straw then. Remember, points only goes down to 10th position in Formula 1 these days, which basically they're just it's like getting a freebie, isn't it, these days? Of course, remember back in the I keep saying back in the good old days. I sound quite old, don't I? But in the good old days there, it was the of course points was rewarded right down to a 10th position. Sorry, not down to 10th position, right down to 6th position there, wasn't it? And it was very difficult to get points back then. But of course there was a very high attrition rate, wasn't it? With engines blowing up and all that kind of stuff, which is quite surprising, really, isn't it? Of course, with those cars were taken apart after every session, weren't they? And re-put back together. It's like a brand new car, wasn't it? Really, back in those days. These days with part for and cost cutting measures, it's a completely different ball game in Formula 1 these days. On board then is now Walker, who just had a penalty as well. He's had a couple of penalties over the last couple of laps then, and Kelly's just saying that they are surprised. Only 3 cars out. Well, there's also explains the nice man out as well, as they have just left their cars running without left their cars unmanned. We're now watching Murphy then coming over from 30 yard. He's 2/10 of a second away. Is he going to throw the up the inside? Not quite then. And but now I think that he should get the overtake done on into turn 1. Well, I say he should, that he's dropped back slightly there, but Walker doing a good job then. But he's hugging the pit wall here, isn't he? And he's trying to break the slipstream, isn't he? But Murphy is coming. He's coming. He is coming. But he was looking there. Glock is up into a 6th position. Passes drop fast. Glock is back up in the 6th position. And lovely stuff indeed then. And yellow flag in sector 3. Everyone seems to be going around then. It's Velocity who has had a problem. Velocity has had a problem, and what a shameful Velocity then, really having a nightmare of a race, isn't he, here today? King's has now been left on his own here, hasn't he? And just seeing it's got yellow flags, and that's for Velocity then, as Velocity's adventure seems to be coming to a head then in this late stages of this race then. As Murphy is now all over the back of Walker once again. Look in the background, that is Glock, and he is coming to get one of these drivers, isn't he? Paul Orange is still leading by 1.8 seconds at the moment, and Lost Souls and Paul Orange are very equally matched, aren't they? At the moment, Lost Souls is now gained 0.3 of a second out of Paul Orange since the safety car. That is how close they are, that is how matched they are in this incredible duel at the front. And Alhan is 6 seconds back then in second position. Walker, in third position. Walker in fourth then, with Murphy in fifth. But Glock is in sixth position. Kingston is now battling, is now also all over the back of FIFA Beefy in ninth and 10th position as well. Wilson is slightly off there in 11th position as they come into the triangle chicane. Then Murphy does getting a bit wrong there. Murphy is, he's going to lose a bit of momentum, and that is going to entice there. Glock, isn't he? The champion of silver. Lovely shot there from the suspension, but we don't want to see that. Walker is just going on to the right hand side again then to try and break that slipstream. Look at that! Wow, incredible shot there into turn 1. That was lovely, wasn't it? And you can also see the yaw on the back of these cars. It's brilliant, isn't it? King goes side by side with FIFA going into turn 1. King's always done it. He's up in the 9th position then, and King's was really starting to rack up the points in these later stages of these races. And he's transformed, hasn't he? He's been fantastic in the last couple of races then. And King's now up to 9th position, and we're expecting to fall away from FIFA because of those tyres. Murphy's got a 3-second penalty there as he completely cut the Degner there. Pit stop, his velocity is in the pit side, and I think what a shame for velocity, isn't it? He's really had troubles in Degner, hasn't he? And that safety car really brought him back into the action. But it looks like he came proper in the triangle chicane, or just out of the triangle chicane, didn't he? And that has ended his day, unfortunately. In the Alfa Romeo, we're down to 12 cars left in this Japanese Grand Prix. 24 out of 27 then. And now coming out of Spoon as well. Walker's gone wide, very wide in fact then, but I gotta say, I think he just about kept the momentum, only just then, as they're coming up the hill as well, and flying into the 130 yard. Walker's gone wide again. He is really struggling, isn't he, at this stage of the proceedings? And he's done 14 laps. Glock on the inside then, that came from nowhere, and now he's on the outside then. Murphy, they were planning the attack. Glock that came from nowhere, didn't he? Oh, and who was that? I think was Walker just gone to the wall then? I'm not sure. No, he hasn't. Now I think I might have just been I'm sure he went to war. I think he did go to war. Just had a quick look on the stream. Glock on the inside. Glock on the inside. Glock is on the inside. But Dan is not giving up, is he? Great race in there. As Glock is determined to get by Dan at the moment, isn't he? But Dan is saying no dice, isn't he? And he is keeping fifth position there. This might help Walker there just slightly pull away in the battle for 4th, 5th and 6th position then. So Glock is now really putting the squeeze on Murphy. Oh my goodness me then. And there is going to go to the first take, the side side. Oh, a bit of contact there on the back of Dan there. So he slightly went to the back of him there. Glock is really trying to get by us. He's up the inside. He passes Murphy, and he goes through then, and up into 5th position. Then Glock does then, and now he's on his way, and now it's 4th position next, and that's Walker then. Great battle. I was enjoying that then, wasn't I? Goodness me there. Oh, we're battling there, wheel to wheel, nose to nose, and I was loving that. And Walker really strong on the back there, isn't he? As the back end is starting to step out. And Nunda just saying Red Bull, one of the top teams for ALR. 2 championships won by Red Bull. It was brilliant, isn't it? Glock there, of course. The Glock is the world champion, a silver. Red Bull, the constructors champion, a silver as well. He's going off the inside. Oh, it's that Walker there, and good job there from Walker. Actually, I thought he was going to go straight into the back of Walker there, but Walker there sensed that coming there, didn't he? Going just a bit of racing room there, isn't he? Walker is the defending, isn't he? So Glock is going to go on the outside, going into turn 1. He swoops through. He is through, and it moves up in the 4th position. Glock does, and now he is on his way. Alhan is just in front then in the Haas set. It's a 2.9 second deficit then. Alhan is up the road then, but Glock is like a steam train on there. Is Alhan just in the foreground, but at the moment, but Glock is really on it now, isn't he? He's a man possessed, isn't he? At this stage of proceedings, they're really pushing it to the limit, isn't he? Glock is. He has made his way back up in the 4th position in the Red Bull. Fantastic stuff indeed there. And Kelly saying good little battle. That was a cracking battle, wasn't it? I was loving that. That was fantastic, wasn't it? And there's a roar of a car outside as well, which made me jump. Anyway, then we're on lap 26 out of 27. The Paulie Orange is leading this race by 2.3 seconds. He's really extended that gap, hasn't he? All by almost 5/10 of a second, hasn't he? That is quite a big deficit between those two very equally matched drivers there. That was a good old battle up front there, but there's been so much action behind it. We've unfortunately haven't actually managed to enjoy that one, have we? Alhan in 3rd position one, but but Glock is the man bearing down on him at the moment, isn't he? Walker, oh goodness me, Walker there, just wandering back on the middle of the track there, and that really put Dan back back on the back foot there, didn't he? And now we're on the final lap of this Japanese Grand Prix. Glock has also set the fast lap of the race. Said Walker is Walker's got the way there, and I think that's I wonder if he feels that he might have been a bit unfair, perhaps, and maybe I'm not sure, or perhaps I'm not sure of that, but anyway. Hats off there to Walker, if that is the case then, but who knows? I'm not sure about that one. That might be the case, or I might have missed something, which is almost more than likely I have, and I missed quite a lot. And now we're back on board then with McLaughlin. He's less than 9/10 of a second away from Alhan at the moment. And you can see then he's just coming to the second. Look at how much time he's taken out of Alhan. Bear in mind, Alhan's on 70 lap old tyres and Glock on 13 lap old tyres. So that does increase the performance. But still, Glock there has been absolutely mighty, hasn't it, since coming through the field there. Remember, this Japanese Grand Prix circuit is very difficult to overtake on. Anyway, it's very difficult to overtake on, isn't it? So very fine stuff there from Glock then. Really nicely done indeed then. But as much as I want to see what happens between Alhan and Glock, I think we need to also pay attention to Poorly Orange then, who is going to win his third race in 4 Grand Prix. He's been absolutely fantastic in the last couple of races. Really has Poorly Orange there, really setting a precedent for next season. Poorly Orange wins the Japanese Grand Prix. Brilliant stuff there. Lost Souls in second position then. Alhan is he going to get through in third position then? It's going to be very much nip and tuck, isn't he? Alhan is in third position. Glocker is in fourth, but I think Dan there is in fifth position. Walker in sixth position there. Vitor Moon in fifth position. Droftas in seventh. Walker down to 8th from 40. Kingdom is in ninth position, but FIFA Beefy is marching him all the way till the end there. FIFA Beefy in 10th position then. Wilson there is going to be in 11th position, I believe. And Serious Mushroom will come through in 12th position then. And those are the final classification then from this Japanese Grand Prix. And as Kelly's saying, good watch again then. Well done, Poorly Orange there, GG. And Wesley going Orange, great there. And Wesley's also asked if he can join the Silver League next season there. If you go to the website www.advancedleagueracing.com and sign up there, Wesley. Otherwise, or you might just have had talks already. Anyway then, and so fantastic stuff indeed. Oh, Orange wants him too then. Oh, good stuff indeed. So yeah, we might see Westy on the grid next season. Brilliant stuff indeed then. But today is Poorly Orange's day. 3 wins in 4 races. Fantastic stuff. And a really good battle there between Lost Souls and also between Lost Souls and Poorly Orange. And then really enjoyed that. Hats off to Alhan for no penalties. And V Todd as well. King's Home in FIFA. Very nicely done indeed then. Poorly Orange, brilliant stuff then. Wins the Japanese Grand Prix. Lost Souls in a second in the end then. Third position is Alhan on the podium. Glock in 4th. Murphy in 5th position there. 6th position was V Todd. Drofas is 7th. Walker 8th position. 9th is King's Home. And FIFA in 10th position. Jake in 11th position. 12th was Serious Mushroom. Retirements explains Iceman, Velocity, Ghost, Nigel, Razor, all retired from the Japanese Grand Prix. And unfortunately, LPE didn't make it out of the pits. And I can say that I have been joined in the gantry by of course our race winner, which is of course Poorly Orange. And Poorly, what a drive today. Unfortunately we didn't get to see the battle between you and Glock towards the end then, but I gotta say that was a fantastic drive. That is your 3rd race win in 4 races. Fantastic.
Thank you very much. It was hard work. Very hard work. Glock was really quick and Double O was super quick. Lost Souls.
It really was. I got to say, I enjoyed the battle between you and Lost Souls, and you were so matched each other like stride for stride there. The gap was 2.3 at the end, and that only went up slightly towards the end there. But you two were equally matched. I was loving that.
Yeah, we were very similar on pace around there. I thought we didn't have a penalty. I thought we was going to win that.
Yeah. So very close. And well done, Poorly Orange. As I said, 3 win in 4 races. It's absolutely fantastic stuff. It really is that. And let's come to Alhan then, who finished third in the end. Alhan, you are very good at racking up the podiums. That is your 6th podium now of the season. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I think these last few races has been pretty solid, to be fair. Just keep on ticking over, as usual.
Absolutely well done indeed then, and I think you've almost cemented a promotion place, if I'm not very much mistaken, which I probably am. And just a open question to both of you before we go. What's your end of season targets then? Starting with you, Poorly.
Overtake Glock again.
Nice and simple, I love it. What about you, Alhan?
Just chase down Droftus for second, I guess. I think I'm close enough to maybe have a go at him. But yeah, if he has any issues, I might be able to take advantage.
Brilliant stuff indeed, guys. Thank you for joining me in the gantry. And thank you all for watching this absolutely fantastic race. We're back tomorrow for bronze. And another round around this Japanese Grand Prix circuit. I love this track. And I got to say, 3 might be too many for me, though. Gosh, I'm going to have a lie down. And, of course, next week we are going to, for the French, we're going to Paul Ricard for the French Grand Prix. And with only 2 rounds left to go in gold and silver and bronze by this time tomorrow. Join us then.